your meditation.
Hello, fellow Amiga users. I'm Bill.
I'm Anthony.
And we are the Guru Meditation. Thanks so much for checking out our YouTube channel about the Commodore Amiga computer and the community that surrounds it. We make how-to videos, we do live streams, and we get out into the world and do show reports from Amiga shows and retro shows around the world.
We do interviews and record presentations from leaders in the Amiga community, and we do short profile documentaries about interesting Amiga users and their projects.
My Amiga vintage computer.
But most of all, we just have fun hanging out with you guys. Anthony and I met back in 1988 at the Westchester Amiga user group, a user group that still meets to this day, and this YouTube channel is an extension of that club.
Bill and I both have massive collections of Amiga hardware, software, and rare peripherals that we dig out and demo for you. Like, literally dig out.
I've seen you digging in Das bunker, and I feared for your safety.
Well, it's no more dangerous than the barn.
Whoa, oh, timber! Thanks so much for checking out our channel, guys. hang out, have a great time, and Amiga forever.
We will see you on episodes of the Guru Meditation.
If you dig our videos, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when we post a new video or go live, click the bell notification button.
Yo, 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 what's up everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hope you can hear me all right. Yeah, holy cow, I'm sick. I got like a nasty cold. I almost didn't stream because I'm not feeling too good, but I said, you know what, the stream must go on. I don't know how long I'll go for, but I'll do my best. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Roar, so nice to see you too. Eagle Beakster, what's up dude? Ugg George, Dat Alert. Who else is here? Lots of folks are here, man. It's awesome to see all you guys. Thanks for stopping by. The plan for today, oh, I think my mic's a little too loud. The plan for today is to go through my footage from Vintage Computer Festival Southeast. I was down there with my buddy Anthony about 2 weeks ago, and we were on the Viva Amiga panel. And I shot lots of video, and I'm going to be posting a video to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/thegurumeditation. And I haven't gone through any of the footage yet. So that's what I'm going to do with you guys today. Mainly, I'm going to show you the interview we did with Trevor Dickinson, the CEO of AEON Technologies, and we'll also look at the Glenn Keller interview. Glenn Keller was also on the panel with us, and he is the designer of the Paula chip, which is the sound chip in the Amiga. And we'll have Anthony take us through the show as well. So that will be the majority of today's broadcast. But it's also kind of a special day, because 1 year ago, on March 17th, which I know is tomorrow, but today's the 16th, but hey, it's almost a year, was my first stream that I ever did. I streamed the new release of Shadow of the Beast, so the Shadow of the Beast 2016 edition. So in honor of that, I might play a little Shadow of the Beast to bring back some memories of last year, and I don't know, maybe you guys haven't seen the Shadow of the Beast reboot, so we'll play that for a couple minutes. And then I was also planning on busting out the actual Amiga, which is sitting right over there, and playing some more Amiga CD32 games that have been ported over, well, not really a port. They're hard drive installable now, thanks to Damien D over on the English Amiga board. So I was going to play some Big Red Adventure, which is this awesome point and click. I'm on a point and click kick right now because I'm playing Thimbleweed Park as well as Full Throttle Remastered, as you guys might have seen during my stream over the weekend. That was an awesome stream, man. We went for like 5 hours, played lots of Thimbleweed, lots of Full Throttle. So anxious to check out the Big Red Adventure, and also looking at some T-Zero. T-Zero is an awesome arcade shoot 'em up, so hopefully we'll play that. But you know what? Bottom line is, let's see how long I last. Because I'm going to have to mute the microphone, I'm going to have to clear my throat sometimes today, I'm going to have to blow my nose a bit. That's just the way it goes, unfortunately. Roar, yeah, man, thanks for being here, man, because I had to man up and just say, you know what, I planned the stream. I haven't streamed in a couple weeks, except for this weekend, so I wanted to start going through this footage and start editing it so I can get a new show up on the YouTube channel, and I want to share that with you guys. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. I'll let the guys in the video talk more because my voice is a little raspy, so hopefully they'll do more of the talking than me. But you know, I'm here to have fun with you guys, and truth is, doing these streams is just so much fun. It makes me feel better. It gets my adrenaline pumping. Hanging out with you guys is a blast. I always feel great after these streams. I'm on like a high after these streams. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to do a little streaming, and when it's all said and done, I'll probably feel better. And that's what I plan on doing. Retro Red Rum, what is up, my friend? Thanks for checking in from Canada. What's up, Jeremy? That alert, Amiga disc cases are made of glass. Oh man, I have plastic ones, but I have wooden ones too as well. Oh George, you've got a joke from watching the Three Stooges the whole week. Pumped, nice. I love the Three Stooges. Actually, the Three Stooges Cinemaware game is another one that's on my to-do list. I want to play some Three Stooges as well. Not going to get to that today, but stay tuned for a future stream. I'm going to play some Stooges. I gotta take a sip of water here. My throat is no bueno. So I'll try and get through the stream. I'll stream as long as I can. I was planning on going for about 3 hours. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it to the 3 hour mark. We'll see how long my voice lasts. But I think it's time to get into some of this footage. So let's start this. I could do, I have a couple options here to show you guys. we can go this route, but I think I'm gonna go with my PC at full screen. Why not? Because it's all about the footage, so I can blow up the footage full screen, and it'll be easier for you guys to see. Now I had a technical difficulty when I was starting the stream, so hopefully this works now. But my audio wasn't getting routed properly. But hopefully you guys can hear the sounds, because that's critical. That's a critical part of the stream today. All right, so here we are, VCF Southeast. We were on the Viva Amiga panel. If you haven't seen the video on our YouTube channel, go check it out. Guru Meditation on YouTube. We were on this awesome panel with Glenn Keller, designer of the Paul chip, Trevor Dickinson, head of AE Technology, the people who are doing the Amiga 1 computers, Zach Weddington, director of Viva Amiga Film, and that's what the whole panel was based around, was a screening of his film. Aaron Ruchetta, who is big in the Amiga Atlanta scene, and he was instrumental in getting the Amiga in the 1996 Olympics. And of course, Adam Spring was the moderator from remotelyinterestedpodcasts.com. Dan P.O., what is up? Thanks for the follow, dude. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's awesome. So, if you want to check out the panel video, go to youtube.com/thegurumeditation. And it's an amazing panel. Huge thanks to Alan Hightower from Vintage Computer Federation, Vintage Computer Festival Southeast, for giving me the footage and allowing us to put it up on our YouTube channel. That is like very, very righteous of you. And amazing job cutting it together, and amazing job with the stage and the venue. It was just really professional, top-notch the whole way. Yo, Electron Ash, what is up, dude? Thanks so much for stopping by. Air Jury, yeah, the moonshine. I need to put some moonshine in this because maybe it will help my throat. I don't know. I'm suffering today, guys. I am a sick man, Retro. I'm sick every day, but today it's more like I'm sick because of a cold. But I'm sick in the head every day, so, you know, nothing new. Roar, have you ever watched the video with all the Amiga games ever made? It's over 7 hours long. I understand that some games are missing. No, I've seen a lot of it, but I never watched all 7 hours. It's pretty awesome, Roar. Roar, Jägermeister is good for a cold, sweet. I've got some Polish vodka and some bourbon downstairs that I'll be hitting after the stream. Warm up that bourbon. I could use some Jägermeister. Jägermeister is good stuff. I haven't had any Jäger in a while. That's a good tip there, Roar. All right, guys, let's get into this footage. So, Vintage Computer Festival Southeast is held at a computer museum, and the computer museum is inside of a CompUSA. I know a lot of you guys are from Europe, so I don't think you had CompUSA stores there, but back in the 90s and early 2000s, CompUSA was like this massive, massive store. It was like a supermarket of computers. It was one of my favorite stores. You know, you can go in there and buy full systems or pretty much any peripheral that you could imagine. And they've since gone out of business. You know, obviously the internet and places like Newegg put them down. But this show takes place in Old CompUSA store. And it's a great venue because it's huge and lots of space. Also, the CompUSA store has been converted into a computer museum. So half of the space is the computer museum and the other half is Vintage Computer Festival Southeast. I do have some footage of the museum that we can check out if you like. But first up, I'm going to start going through some of the show footage. Greek, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Ugh George. Ozu. Oh man, it sounds good. Ozu sounds awesome. I've never had it. But it sounds like I need to try it. I need to figure out how long. Let me learn how to mute my mic over here. Let's see, test it. I think that mute worked, so hopefully you didn't hear me coughing too bad. Alright, let's get into this footage. There we are. That's me doing a selfie, and there's Anthony. We're getting ready to attack the show. The camera's way too close to my face, but hey. Let's see what's going on here. All right, I'm going to go operate the camera. I'm gonna go take a little tour of. You know what, guys? I am going to dump this into a timeline. I'll just call this VCF tour part 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this into a timeline so I can isolate our microphones so you'll have much better sound. New sequence from clip. I'm going to turn off these channels because this is the internal mic in the camera and it sounds like poo-poo. It's very strong, Electron Ash. I need something strong, man.
Here he goes, alley-oop.
Alley-oop, here we go. All right, here we are, day one, VCF Southeast. This looks awesome. I can't wait to go check it out. Anthony's over here. What's up? Getting a little BTS.
What's up, guys? We are here, Atlanta, Georgia, VCF Southeast. Oh man, I'm already excited. I feel sorry for anyone having to watch this.
All right, I'm going to go operate the camera. We're gonna go take a little tour of VCF Southeast. Let's go, Anthony.
All right.
Anthony feels bad for you guys. All right, let's skim ahead a little bit here. I'm just gonna skim through it. Obviously, we can't watch all the footage. I shot like freaking 2 days worth of footage. Anthony had this awesome 360 camera. You can see it right up here, and he posted his videos up on his YouTube channel, Anthony Becker. And they're awesome. It's he walked through the whole show with a 360 camera, and you can pan around. It's amazing. Or put on the Rift, and you can experience VCF Southeast in virtual reality. It's awesome. Electron asked, your sister-in-law drank Ozu at a party once, and then she did an Ozu collapso. That sounds like a good party, though. Next day must have been rough, but
Now I can operate the camera properly.
all right, first thing up, this is in the consignment shop here. The first thing up here on the left is a consignment shop, and they had a Commodore PET.
With me.
Nice.
Yeah, if we didn't fly here, this would be an addition to the collection. I guess we could always ship it, but
Yeah, we flew down. Obviously, VCF Southeast is about a 2-hour flight. It's down in Atlanta. We're in New York City, so shipping a PET on a plane would be difficult. Not out of the question, but it prevented us from buying a lot of things. Fortunately. Because, you know, Anthony and I would have came home with we would have needed a plane just for all the stuff that we would have bought. Here we have a cool Texas Instruments
Here we have
display.
the Texas Instruments TI-99 4A.
that's a beautiful display these guys got set up
This
here.
is an
Yeah,
awesome
it's really nice.
display right here.
That is gorgeous.
Oh, look at this. They've even marked everything on the motherboard.
That's what I call a good display. That's a
Oh,
great
yeah.
idea, actually. We might have to.
I have a Commodore 64 motherboard.
Yeah, that is a great idea. Pulling off the motherboard and putting it up on the wall like that. And I love the black background that he has. That's really cool. Again, note Anthony's 360 camera. Here's to all the retro lovers. All right, Ugh George, love it. Oh, and these are really cool. These are old school consoles. This is the original Coleco Telstar Arcade. I have the next generation one. It's a triangle. You might have seen it at my retro party last year. But here he's playing Pong. This is an original Telstar Arcade. Probably, we're thinking like 1976, 1977. One of the first home gaming consoles.
Oh man,
yeah.
I had the second iteration of this.
Look
You
at
might have
that.
seen us dig it out of the barn. That's gorgeous.
Yeah,
oh,
you
man.
did. It's that triangle shaped thing.
Exactly. This is the first
The
generation
first
Coleco
generation
Telstar Arcade.
plays, looks like 3 games, tennis, hockey, and handball.
That is awesome.
Yeah, those games are super sweet, man. I love my Telstar Arcade.
And they're, of course,
VCS.
2600 VCS.
Here we got
Little
it.
Pac-Man, that was my first gaming
2600
system.
VCS.
I never actually had a VCS originally. I had the expansion port for the Coleco.
GUI.
What do we got over here?
Feature.
Oh, it's that's pretty cool. That's a cool exhibit. It's all about the GUI, the history of the GUI. Very, very
Nice.
cool.
First GUI for the IBM PC.
Sweet.
Vision.
Sweet.
It looks like a little Destiny over here. Yeah.
Oh, there's a ColecoVision, one of my other favorite consoles. I'm gonna actually stream some ColecoVision games on this channel.
That
Yeah.
is gorgeous.
Classic NES. Man, so many hours were spent on the NES. Every day after school, man, I was NES all the time. I loved it. When it wasn't Amiga, it was NES. I loved my Super Mario Brothers and my Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I'm going to go through this footage a little bit on the quick side. I don't even know what that is, but it looks awesome. It looks like a homemade Simon. I think it is. I actually think it is a
What this
homemade
is,
Simon.
but I see
Atlanta
flash-
Historical Computing Society. I'm afraid to hit any of these buttons. I see spark plugs. I see looks like a pressure meter. I see cooling
I don't know what that
fins.
is. That's crazy.
This thing is a Maker Faire, something from the Maker Faire, but I think it might just kill me if I touch it.
Roar, what is my ultimate console? Well, it's so hard to say. For me personally, it's so hard because I had lots of consoles. I had that Coleco Telstar arcade. I had Intellivision, which I love. I had ColecoVision, which I love. I guess NES, overall, I probably spent the most time on any console was the NES. So I would go original NES. That's just my personal favorite console. But the other thing I really like a lot, I know it's hard to look back on it now, but I love my PlayStation 4 because PlayStation 4 really got me involved in online gaming and the online gaming community. I didn't play a lot of online gaming until I got the PS4, but I met so many new friends through the PS4. I had the PS3 as well, but I stuck mostly to local games. I did a lot of Red Dead Redemption, and I didn't do much multiplayer stuff. But PS4 got me really involved with communities, and I met some great friends. I met some great Amiga users on my PlayStation 4, especially through Shadow of the Beast. My buddy Fredder18, we met by playing Shadow of the Beast, which is not a multiplayer game, but you can devour other people's souls in the game, as you'll see, and that's how I met Fredder. So yeah, I guess as far as like gameplay and nostalgia, I would go NES for my favorite console. But there's something to be said about the PS4 and all the people that I met through it. So looking back on it in 15 years, I'm gonna say like, wow, the PS4 kind of changed my life as well. Atari Lynx, yep, totally. I love the Lynx, of course. RJ Michael. Retro Red Rum, Sega all the way. It's so weird. I never had a Sega. I love the Sega games, and my neighbor had a Sega. He had a Genesis, and Sega was awesome. I loved Sega. I just, for some reason, I never had one. I'm not sure exactly why. But, Sonic is legendary, as well as, Shinobi. I used to play lots of Shinobi on the Sega. Sega's awesome. I'm going to learn a lot more about Sega because I'm helping Zach out with his Sega Outrun the Future documentary. All right, moving along here. These are handhelds.
Oh man, I've got some of these.
Yes,
I still have this one here. I have this baseball game. I have the hockey one. The handhelds weren't very playable, but this definitely has a lot of nostalgia factor here.
I have a remake of the football. They just came out with that recently.
And they all work. Awesome.
They all work if y'all want to try them out.
Yeah, I still have this one right here, the baseball one. That's a great one.
Nice. All right, moving right along here. Oh, I still have this one too. The Pac-Man, the Pac-Man mini arcade, awesome. Oh, there's Simon. Remember Simon? It's the memory game. I stunk at it. Yeah, I'm looking for. It's going to be a great doc, Roar. Zach's got a lot of skills, and he learned a lot from Viva Amiga, so his next one's going to be even better. Ugh, George, you sold your 500 to buy a Mega Drive after 1 week, and you sold it to about a 1200. Nice! That's the way to do it. The Mega Drive is a great system, though. There's nothing to sneeze at, but I think you're much better off with a 1200.
That's the same issue.
Yeah, we saw that in your.
What's your second question, Roar? That's a cool
Pac-Man on Pac-Man.
What is my second best computer? Oh, second, it's tough, man. It's all good and fun, but I would say Atari 800. Atari 800 was my first computer. I love it to this day. I love playing Bruce Lee on it. I love Star Raiders. It had the best version of Pac-Man back then, way better than the Atari 2600. So I would go the Atari 8-bits. I love the 800. So after the Amiga, I like the 800. And of course, J Miner and RJ. I'm not sure if RJ worked on the 800 or not, but obviously J Miner with the Antic chip, he was a big part of the 800. Went on to become the father of the Amiga. Back then, I had no idea who J Miner was until around 89, 90 when I really got into Amiga. When I first got the Amiga, I had no idea that one of the same guys behind the 800 is the same guy behind the Amiga. There's something about it that attracted me to it, and it probably has something to do with Jay.
Man.
That one is goofy, I think.
Bruce Lee, Commando. I love Bruce Lee so much. Oh.
Because you can only eat the dog.
The Spectrum, yeah. Now, here in the US, we didn't have a Spectrum. I didn't even know what a Spectrum was until I got into the retro hobby, believe it or not. But we didn't have any Spectrums here. And, Amiga is totally king. That's why Roar, that's a very good question. What's the second favorite computer? Because, speak and spell. I was terrible at spelling, but that was a fun one. Yeah, obviously Amiga's the best computer. Vectrex. This is a system I would love to buy today. There's nothing like vector graphics. Like when you see vector graphics on the proper screen, it just looks so gorgeous. It's something that the emulators don't really capture, especially like where the vector lines, where the vector goes over the same spot more than once, and it gives you that thicker glow compared to the thinner glow. like, I love playing Asteroids on the original arcade cabinet, especially that it's got the sound and just the, like, the look of all the meteors. The emulators just don't capture that. Like, in order to really enjoy a vector game, you have to look at the original, and Vectrex is awesome. I would love to have a Vectrex. I need a Vectrex, man. I would love. George, did you see the Bruce Lee remake? Very fun. I think I just downloaded it. I think I might have just saw that pop up in your feed, Ugg. I might have, but if not, I'll go check it out to make sure I do have it. Roar, what's the one with the old scratches in the sepia? Little Pong.
We have Radio Shack. It's the game version of the Pong game.
There we go. We got a VIC-20 and a Commodore 64. Very nice.
I feel like I'm at home when I see these guys. I smell Amiga. But let's not do that yet. We got to go through the whole history, and the history starts right here with the 800.
Speaking of the Atari 800, here's the Atari setup that they had. These are the guys from the Antic podcast. They're awesome. I actually need to listen to this because the guys were asking me what I captured here. So you know what? Let's take a listen to this section about the Atari 8-bits. If you don't know the Antic podcast, it's one of the best podcasts out there. Check it out, the Antic podcast. And actually last night, Anthony and I were interviewed by one of the guys from the Antic podcast for his personal podcast called Floppy Days, which is another great podcast. And we are going to be part of the Vintage Computer Festival show, podcast show that he's going to do. We talked to him down there, and we talked to him again last night. So we're going to be part of the Floppy Days podcast. The episode's coming out later this month. So I'm super excited about that because I listen to Antic and Floppy Days all the time. And to actually be on the podcast is going to be really, really cool. Yeah. Anthony's hilarious, right? He's the best. I love that guy. There we are.
There they are.
That's my first machine right there.
This is what set the stage for the Amiga's custom chips. The design.
Jay Miner himself.
It's all an evolution of what was made for these two systems.
The Atari 800 was my first machine, and oh man, it was an awesome computer. Still is. Still the best version of Pac-Man I ever had. I just said that. That's my baby right there. It is a cool looking machine too. Now I start talking to one of the guys, and I'm curious to what he said because they were asking me about that. So I'm just gonna look at this really quick, and then that's interesting. Oh, okay, gotcha. Part 1, okay. I gotta make sure my naming conventions here are good because I don't want to not be able to find it. All right, where do we start here? Oh boy. Oh boy. This is the first day. There we go. All right, so this will be VCF tour part 2. Copy that. This will be part 3. I'm sure there's a part 3. And the next one will be part 4. I think there's 4 parts. I'm not going to do them all, guys, because we only have so much time today. I'll make sure to get to Trevor and Glenn, since this is an Amiga stream. Can't spend too much time on the Atari stuff during the Amiga stream, right? Roar, yeah, Anthony's hilarious. He's like a comedian, and he is full of knowledge. We make a good team because he's way more knowledgeable about computers and the Amiga and the Commodore than I am, and I'm more knowledgeable about the video end of it. But obviously there's overlap, like I know things about Commodore and Amiga, and he knows things about video, so that's why we make a good team. So Brad, you're one of the organizers. Okay, oh, there's Brad Arnold. These guys are from the Antic podcast. Let's drop them in here so we can get better sound. So Brad, you're one of the organizers of the show, right?
Yes.
Oh, cool. What do you? Oh, let's turn this volume a little bit. What do we have here?
The display. This is a display of the Atari Home Computers Demonstration Center. Normally we have the cartridge Atari that Atari provided retailers to have running on a loop in their stores. That would normally be here. Right now we're testing our Antic cassette number 1.
Very cool. So you're loading the Antic podcast off of that cassette tape into the Atari 400, and you're going to play that when it's done loading. You're actually going to play the Antic podcast on the 400, right?
That's correct.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. So what they're doing is they put their podcast onto a cassette tape and they're loading it into the 400. That's pretty amazing. Roy, thanks for the kind words, dude. I appreciate that very much.
So that was all created by a guy named Nir Derry out of Israel, and he shipped us over a copy the other day, so it's fresh from the other side of the world.
Amazing. Well, I love Antic Podcast. You guys are awesome. So yeah, great job with that.
Thank you.
It's one of our favorite podcasts. I think you can hear it. That's awesome.
On this first episode of Antic, the Atari Bit Podcast, we'll talk about the first Atari to be...
That's so cool. I love it when you use vintage computers to do something new with them. All right, so VCF Tour Part 2, I'll call it Antic. Very cool. Thanks so much for hanging out today, guys. It is so much fun. I had to do this anyway, and doing it with you guys and sharing some of my footage with you is super, super fun. Way more fun than doing it on my own. Wait a minute here. Oh, was that part 1? Did I just mess up here, guys? Or is there are 2 of them? That's bizarre. That's bizarre. This guy is very cool. He had a cool... This guy also has a podcast. I forgot his name. He's awesome. Let's see what he's talking about. And then we'll get into Glenn and Trevor.
So did you have one of those back in the day, or is this
eBay. I wanted it really badly.
Mm-hmm.
My parents would not spend the $800.
Mm-hmm. That would have been a hard sell, I imagine.
Yeah, this was some sort of like external audio board that made the games just sound ridiculous. Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. Oh my god.
Wow. That really does sound amazing.
Way better than the Sound Blaster. Wow, that sounds incredible. Roar, yeah. Thanks, man. I'm glad you're... It's so funny because I have lots of muscle memory when it comes to this stuff, but I have a different resolution on the screen right now so I could stream it, so I'm a little slow. Yeah, so the footage is muddy because my camera shoots was called... Sorry. I couldn't get to the mute button in time. My camera shoots was called Canon Log, and the way it works with all the new cameras is they shoot very, very flat, like very, very low contrast, and then you add the contrast in post-production. The reason for that is it maximizes your dynamic range, right? So if you're outside like on a bright sunny day, with a regular camera in the old days, if the shadows are black and there's no information in them, or the bright sky is white and there's no information in that, then game over. You'll never get the information back. But if you maximize your dynamic range, you can apply different gamma curve to your footage and hopefully pull some detail out of the shadows or pull some detail out of the sky. So it gives you a broader dynamic range. But watch, we can actually, if we go to color, I can throw a LUT on it. This is very similar to Alexa here. So throw that on, and now you can see it looks much better. It's probably a little bit too contrasty in this scenario, but...
So what you'll see first is this will like start popping up messages.
But what that does is it maximizes dynamic range of the camera. Oh, that's what you do with your Atari ST Retro Red ROM? The MT32? Nice. It sounds awesome. I mean, the sound was incredible. Cool. All right, guys, moving along here. We can skim through some other stuff, but again, I don't want to
take up too much time doing this, because I could literally spend 2 days going through all this footage, like literally. Where are we here? Oh, there's Adam. Love that guy. Adam Spring from Remotely Interested Podcast is the one that put the whole Amiga panel together, and he's awesome dude. Awesome dude. Oh, here's an Amiga. We can take a quick peek at this. This guy had a sweet, sweet setup, and we ended up doing an interview with him. Oh, I'm going to undo that. Again, I'm just not feeling right today. This guy's Amiga is awesome. Let's take a look at it. So, he's got an Ethernet card in the PC MCIA slot in his 1200. He's got a micro SD. I think it's an SD card. I'm pretty sure it's an SD card hard drive. He's got an Intellivision AGA. He's got Kickstart 3.1. He's got this USB controller, which is awesome. He can plug USB joysticks and mice into his 1200. He's got it tricked out. What else does he have here? Oops. He's got, yeah, Intellivision. He's got a Blizzard 1260 with extra RAM. He's cooking, man. This is like my dream Amiga here. It's gorgeous. Roy, I'm glad you find that interesting. Yeah, if you have any like video questions ever, ask me, because I know a lot more about video than than computers. I love computers. They're awesome hobby, and I'm pretty good with the computers too, but video is how I make a living, and that's what I'm actually super knowledgeable about. So any camera questions or video or photography questions, fire away. Yo, Retro Demo Scene, what's up, dude? It is great to see you. Hope all is well. You really enjoyed the panel. Thank you so much. Yeah, Anthony's stories are awesome. Glenn, yeah, Glenn's great. I'm going to show an interview with Glenn in a couple minutes here. Glenn is such a super nice guy. Now here's the interesting thing. Glenn had never designed a chip before. The Paula was like his first chip design that he'd ever done. Not only that, but now it's not like he still makes sound chips. Now Glenn makes imaging sensors. So speaking of cameras, Glenn now makes image sensors that go into digital cameras. And I know Sigma, the Sigma cameras use some of his sensors. I'm not sure what else, but he works for the company that makes the actual sensor that different digital camera companies put into their cameras. So we hit it off real well. We're talking about like Bayer patterns and old film stocks. So we actually had a lot in common. I could rap with Glenn about that stuff. I don't know much about how the Paula chip was designed, other than that's awesome. But when it came to camera sensors, Glenn and I could talk about that. Or I could talk about that with Glenn. That was the one thing I kind of hang with him a little bit on the camera sensors, even though he knows more about that than I do too. He's such a smart guy, and he's such a nice guy. I mean, what a good dude Glenn is. Yeah, he is our Sid of the Amiga world. Exactly, Retro. Exactly. So this guy's Amiga is amazing. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what Anthony's talking about.
Just load up screen, you know, the preps and change the screen mode. But yeah, it did boot up like clockwork.
You'll also notice the model number here. I got my hands on several of the high density drives.
Oh, so that's high density?
Oh, we've got a high density floppy.
All my systems
Woo!
to the high density.
This is like the ultimate 1200, man. It's gorgeous. I wonder if I have more of it. Now that we're looking at it, this guy's machine, there he is. This dude is awesome. I can't show you his whole thing, 'cause we talked to him for like a half hour. But you know, let's watch a little of it, since this is good. This is good stuff. Let's take a peek at this. Oh, remotely interested in the house. What is up, my friend? Adam, if there's anything you want to see or say, you are welcome to. You can even come on the stream if you'd like. So you're saying Sigma acquired Foveon. Adam, thanks so much, dude. Adam, you rock, dude. Your panel was amazing. The group of guys that you got together was incredible. It was one of the best weekends I've ever had. So, like, thank you so much, Adam. You rock, dude. You rock. I mean, I'm just having so much fun going through this footage and reliving it.
Well, if you're one of the people who has one of those cards and want to sell it, you think it's
This guy had an
regulating
awesome
just
1200.
fine.
Oh no, that's true. No, that's true. That's true. And now I'll be honest, and it sounds, it's stupid as it sounds. I have on a number of times when I put some of my stuff up and I've watched it go above a reasonable price. I mean, I could make money on it, but I'm trying to get my stuff into hands of people that's going to use it.
Right.
I'm not looking to cash out on this. I'm looking to.
Let's hear him talk about the machine. He's a good dude.
We found an Amiga guy right here with this amazing 1200. So you want to tell us what's your name?
My name is Alan Rateliff. I'm on Amiga.org as LoadWB.
Ah.
I hang out some of the other boards.
I've seen some of your posts.
I have no idea what I am on some of the other boards. I actually hang around AO a lot, but so this is my little 1200. I was really happy when I finally got this, and we'll start from over here. I started with a 4 gig disc on module.
So now the difference between this and using the compact flash adapters, which are very popular.
Yes.
What is that?
The main difference is, well, it's not interchangeable like your compact flash. You can't just take one compact flash and put it in there. But this functions very similar to it. It can be a little bit faster than some of the compact flash, depending on what you get. These are actually made for industrial use, for like thin clients, machines that you just throw in a corner and forget about and expect them to run 10 years later. Compact flash, they can have varying lifespans, but in general your disk on modules tend to be more reliable and a little bit faster.
Right, so from what it sounds like, a big difference is your compact flash is a very consumer device, and this is industrial. It was designed to be a computer's hard drive.
Exactly. Yeah, whereas a compact flash is really meant for, it's meant for cameras, it's meant for photography, video, that kind of thing, so you move it from one device to another. It's meant to be inserted and deinserted many, many times. This you put in place, you set it and forget it, and you're done.
Great.
So there you go. So that wasn't an SD card hard drive. So that's good thing I watched the footage. Yo, what's up, Hell's Angel? How you doing? What's wrong with, you know what, let me fix the color. Sorry, dude. It's the raw footage. I'm just going through my raw footage, and as I explained a couple minutes ago, it's called Canon log gamma. It gives you the maximum dynamic range, but it's not pretty to look at. So let me change the color. Hold on. I'll give you, let's do an Alexa LUT here. Go back to there, boom. That's better.
All right, so what else is in this?
All right, so we also have an Indivision AGA MK2. This sits on top of the video processor and gives you DVI and VGA output. This is made by Individual Computers out of Germany. This is making just an incredible number of amazing expansions, and reasonably priced, the majority of them, which is great, so we can get in the hands of a lot of people, get you hooked up to a modern monitor.
And that's a big concern, I know for myself on my Amigas, is as your 1084s, your 2002s die, it's like, what can you hook these things up to get a display out of them? And this is just a great internal, so you're not really having to modify the 1200 at all.
Yeah,
it's just to get your...
Yeah, Indivision AGA is great. Believe it or not, I have one, and I haven't even put it in my 1200 yet. And yeah, that is the new Amiga case, and it's funny. It looks way better in person than it does on the screen, obviously. Like, I wasn't that into the new Amiga cases. Then I saw this clear one in person, and I was like, whoa, that is a sexy case.
Display out.
Across the spectrum of classic computers is once you start hooking them up to high resolution machines, you lose some of the features, you know, some of the coloring with the artifacting. It gets blocky and all that.
Right.
So your mileage may vary overall, but in general, if you want to put this computer to use and you can't get a hold of the older monitors as they're getting more scarce and more difficult to source fixed up, this is the way to go. I actually have a 4000 desktop that has similar to this. It's the AGA for the 4000, and I actually switch it between my.
Yeah, Adam. So I gotta skim through the footage. Otherwise, we'll be here until tomorrow morning. I shot like 2 days worth of footage. Actually, it's like a full day of footage. We got to the show and we just didn't stop shooting. Yeah, this thing had USB slots and everything. Let's take a look. Let's skim ahead a little bit. I want to make sure I get to Glenn and Trevor as well.
Mac Mini and
Oh, here we go.
Ports coming out the back of this. So what do we have? What do we have there?
This is the clock port edition of the Rapid Road USB module, also made by individual computers. With this and the Poseidon USB stack, you can run virtually any USB device that will plug into it. The sound card works with the AHI sound system.
Wow, yeah, I never thought, obviously usually think of USB for keyboards and mice.
Right.
But wow, you can hook up a sound card to your 1200.
Absolutely, and it's not bad. I mean, the resolution is good, the sound is great. I mean, even for something like a cheap sound card like this, you can pick these up on Amazon or eBay anywhere from 80 cents to maybe $5. Depending on how quickly you want to get them.
That's incredible.
But mass storage devices, USB adapter, USB flash drives, thumb drives, USB CD-ROMs, the little USB rocket launchers. I mean, there's a class for a lot of different things. Even, if I remember correctly, there's even one for video capture or video display, one or the other.
Ooh.
Something I don't use,
I'll
but
look into that.
It really does, and the USB stack is extremely functional. Now it does require MUI, so it makes it a little bit heavier for your system. But there are alternative USB stacks out there. There's one called ANIIS, which is another, I don't remember what it stands for. But it's lightweight, and it's made to run on scaled down machines.
Right, and now since this goes on the clock port,
yes,
it's really not just 1200, because we now have cards that can add clock ports to other Amigas. I believe there's one for the 600, and there might even be one for the 2500 that has clock ports on it. So
yeah, the 500. I think the new ACA 500 Plus has clock ports on it. If not, a lot of the processor expansions for the 500s have them.
Yep.
Processor expansions for the 600 have them. Cards like the Buddha Flash or the Buddha IDE, the Xsurf, all sorts of different devices.
Yeah, guys, totally, man. I think what I'm going to do with this stuff is I'm not going to make like a 10-15 minute highlight video of the show. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all these pieces and I'll cut this up and make it more digestible. But I'll release this video about his 1200. I'll release Trevor's interview. I'll release Glenn's interview. I'm not going to edit them that much. I'm just going to release them as individual nuggets, and I think that'll be better. It saves me some editing time, and you guys who are really into it will appreciate all of the information, because sometimes it's hard. Like I don't want to cut stuff out, So I'm gonna make a playlist, and I'm gonna put all these videos into a playlist. I think instead of a general video. I think that's what I'm gonna do. We'll see. I'm definitely gonna post them up in their entirety. Well, not their entirety. I'll cut out like the parts when I'm like zooming and doing bad camera work.
About this particular, the Rapid Road, is it also has the ability to connect to a native bus on the Xsurf 100, which is a Zorro-based 100 megabit network card.
Yep.
So then with that, you can get full USB 2.0 speed. I believe you're limited on this. I'm not sure what the speed is, but just because of the nature of the clock port.
Right.
But it is functional.
It's amazing that a clock port could be so flexible.
Yes. So the other really kind of expansions I've done on this, I have a Blizzard 1260.
Right, so that's an old school expansion. Probably was one of the, before you got to PowerPC cards, this was the premier expansion board for the 1200.
Yes, and believe me, I would love to have a PowerPC, but this little baby, even not overclocked, it flies. It does well. It compiles very quickly. With WHD load, it plays games very well. I have the SCSI module on here with the expanded memory. So in this classic machine, built in 1992, I have 192 megs of CPU RAM, and of course the built-in 2 megs of video RAM.
Right. Amazing.
So,
this is like the ultimate 1200. Hey, what's up, Adam and Zach?
Put a high density.
Woo! There's Adam. Adam, your Donkey Kong shirt rules, dude.
Floppy drive in here.
High density floppy. Yep.
Just because at the time before I went USB, it made it easier. I do have the PCMCIA network card.
Right.
This works with CNET device.
And that was, back when the 1200 came out.
Yes.
And PCMCIA was used in laptops. these cards were very expensive, and a lot of us sat there and wondered, like, what am I ever going to do with this? You had the Squirrel SCSI, which I think was one of the only things that most people would buy for that port.
Right.
But of course, now you can pick up these network cards. You can get wireless network cards that'll work in a 1200 for very little money.
You can get lots of them for just dirt cheap.
Right, right. Because you know, even laptops have moved away from that standard.
Yes.
So.
Well, everything now, and actually, I have with my expansions on this obsoleted this because I can use a USB network card in here.
Yeah.
So you use Miami, you use Roadshow, you can use Genesis. It works through Poseidon, gets you right on the network.
Well, this is an amazing, and of course, it is not in the usual beige case either.
This case is awesome.
Not. This is the one of the Kickstarter cases. I opted to get a black one, a beige one, and a transparent one, which I have here. It actually, the transparent one is really nice because the LEDs on the module and the USB card shine through it and give it a nice little inside glow. The stock LEDs kind of give it a nice little glow. I'm waiting, as you can see, I do have the original keycaps. So I'm waiting for the keycap Kickstarter to finish up so I can get my keycaps
and
for this.
It's always wonderful, and here you see a usual example where the different keys yellow at different rates, and it looks just very random. Yeah, well, not that random because you have a whole row, you have a few here. I know a lot of them you'll have the space bar yellow.
Oh, I just like school bus yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately, I haven't had any problems, but I didn't realize how yellow this was until I put it in the transparent case, because the original case is yellow just as much.
Yellowed a bit too, yeah. Yep, so by comparison, it still looks fine. But, but then the other advantage of these Kickstarter cases is, as you can see a hint of it even from the top, is these actually have brass inserts for the screws to go in. And we all know you open and close your 1000, your 500, your 600, your 1200 a lot. Those screws just bite right into the plastic, and eventually they start to wear it out.
They strip. You can't get them to close tightly.
Yep.
So you definitely have the brass screw mounts. It also has the little GoTech cutout here.
That's
so you can run a floppy emulator instead of running a real floppy drive. It also has knockouts on the side for USB. So now I don't have the right USB header for this, but I'm working on finding it, and if not, I'm just going to cut these and make them fit because I want my USB there for sure.
Right.
So
and then you won't have those wires sticking out the back anymore. It's all internal.
Absolutely. I would love to be able to close this case properly. So, but for right now, you know, I've been very proud to display this and show it off.
That is an Amiga 1200 to be proud of, for sure.
So,
sweet. Oh yeah, totally. Oh, so Adam, you have Donkey Kong shoes? No way, dude. That is amazing. They'll go good with Trevor's bowling ball shoes. Yeah, totally. Amiga porn should come with a wallet warning. Electron Ash, I totally agree. Like it kills me. It kills me when people cut holes in the side of their case for a GoTech drive. You know what? It's like, it's your Amiga. You can do what you want. But I'm such like a purist. I hate to see the original case get modified because they're never going to be made again. You know. But a case like this, a new case, you can, if someone were to cut a new case, that's fine. But even better, that it's got the GoTech mold built into the case. That's just brilliant. I love that. These cases are awesome. I backed the keycap Kickstarter, and supposedly I'm going to be able to get an Amiga CD32 style case. Same as an Amiga 1200 case, but it's got the Amiga CD32 colors, and it looks incredible. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get that case. The problem is, like, I don't want to take my 1200 out of its case right now because my 1200 is just kind of like perfect. So I'll have to get like a second one, or I'll have to find a 1200 with a bad case to put in there. Oh, the on-screen got you. Oh yeah, that's right. Electron, you're working on a project that allows you to use... you don't need the LCD, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I saw you post something about that. That looks like an awesome project. Yeah, and then the main reason behind it was to prevent people from cutting holes for the LCD. That's an awesome project, and I think that seems like that would, you know, go perfect with this case, although he might have a cutout for the LCD in this case as well. But yeah, your project is very cool, and man, I would never cut a hole in my 1200 to put a little LCD screen. And plus, like, I love the Gotex, but when you have things like the ACA 500 Plus or WHD load and internal compact flash cards, like, you like almost don't need a Gotek, you know what I'm saying? And if you still want one, I still use mine. I would never damage the case, man. I'd never touch my case. I want to keep it as original as possible. I love all this retro computing stuff because I love history, you know? And I like to keep things as they were, you know? Even, I took the floppy drive out of my Amiga 500 as a place to like store the Gotek because the floppy drive wasn't working. And now I'm like, you know what? I want to put another floppy drive in because I still want to be able to load from floppy. I want to keep my 500 the way it was. And then I could just slide an ACA 500 Plus in the side port. Boom, that's like best of both worlds, you know? Oh yeah, cool. Your retro red rum. There's a 3D printed support for the Gotek board for the A500. I use it and it's great and no holes to do. Retro, I have it too, man. I'm gonna do a video about that. I downloaded, I think it's Crazy Bob. Crazy Bob makes he gives you his 3D printed file, and then you bring it to a 3D printer, and you can print this and plop it inside of your 500. So I don't know where mine is. It's somewhere. I think it's actually down in the garage, but I'm gonna do a video about that as well. I can't wait to try it out. I'm glad that you say it works. Retro Red Rum, did you also print like the little cylinders that support it? Because I didn't print those, but I feel like I should have. I should get those printed as well. Electron Ash, your project is working fine, just a tad tricky to find the easiest way to hook up the video on the different Amigas without degrading the image. Ah, I got you. I'm gonna revisit that, Electron Ash, because I saw that project and I was like, oh man, that's a great idea, and the fact that you were able to figure it out and get it to work is awesome. I don't have those skills. That's awesome. Yeah, Electron, I totally hear you. The Gotek still is. It's a floppy drive emulator, and WHD load is cool, but there's something about a game taking 5 minutes to load that you miss. That's funny. And also, some of the WHD load games aren't that compatible, you know? I feel like sometimes WHD load is a little quirky. No, Electron, I was saying I want to look at what you posted again to reacquaint myself with your project. Excuse me. So guys, yeah. I'm letting these guys do all the talking because I'm really sick today. Well, I'm not really sick, but I'm sick enough to be pretty uncomfortable. But I didn't want to cancel the stream. So I have to mute my mic every now and then to cough or blow my nose, and I apologize for that. All right, moving on. I'm going to post this whole video because this guy is really, really good. And it's awesome, like his tour of like the Ultimate 1200. I love it. I want to find some Trevor. Let's see, what else do we got going on here? That's day one. Okay, I think. Yep. Okay, so I think we're done with roll 2. Roll 3. Oh, we got roll 3 and roll 4. Wow. This is, again, I go back and I got detailed shots of all his stuff. So when I cut the video together, I can edit these shots in and cover up all the zooms, the schlocky camera work. He had some more stuff to say, too. Oh, who's that guy? So, Adam, there's a reason why I'm the camera guy. I think Anthony shot our little intro here in autofocus, which I did on purpose. But the autofocus like only focuses on the center of the screen. And obviously, neither you nor I are in the center of the screen. So we're both a little soft. Oh, cool. Oh, Retro, you didn't have the proper screws to use those? Yeah, I felt like I didn't need them. I could figure out a way just to balance it and just use that screw that kind of goes in that side mount. Adam, I'm sure you were tired. I can't even imagine how tired you were. And you know, the truth is, we did our intro you know, the other day. So we don't even really need this anymore. But it's good that we did it. We're a little soft, but hey. Ah, there he is. All right. Cool. Adam, if you want to see that, if you want to see our little interview, I'll play it. But I was thinking of getting into some Trevor right now. And this is probably Trevor too. Because I got B-roll of the X5000. And what's this? Would this be Trevor 3? Yep. Let's get into some Trevor Dickinson. This guy's amazing. I love Trevor so much. You're interested in Trevor remotely? Yeah, because you haven't seen what I shot of Trevor. Neither have I. I'm just seeing it now for the first time. Obviously, you know what I shot with you because you were there. Some people don't like the idea of soldering to the main board, but they'll happily cut a dog flap into their cases. I know. I mean, some of the case mods that I've seen people do with the Gotek are just absolute slaughters. Like they don't even take the electronics out of that plastic casing, and they just try and like fit the plastic casing where the drive was. Oh my god, it's horrible. It's horrible. Tragic.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Okay.
Trevor, can I get a mic check from you?
1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Man probably needs. So, I mean, here's a man probably needs no introduction with that great Boeing bow tie, and I mean, the way you're traveling, I think those shoes are seeing a lot of frequent flyer miles.
They have.
For Boeing balls, but of course we have here Trevor Dickinson from Aon. Am I saying that right?
That's fine.
I have a tendency to mispronounce corporate names. I know I was yelled at once for mispronouncing Atons as at once. That ages me.
I used to call it at once.
Yeah, I think everyone did.
Oh, okay.
It's great.
You just taught me something.
It's great that we have something in common.
So Aeon.
Aeon.
Just joking with you.
Which of course we love our 1200s, we love our 4000s, but if you are looking for a new Amiga, this is the guy that you got to come to.
Okay, thank you.
And first I'd love to just know, I mean, you obviously love the Amiga. What made you decide I'm going to start a company to make hardware?
It's really although actually we do make a lot of software now.
And now we'll get to that too.
Yeah. but actually it's really strange. I started to write for Total Amiga magazine, a series called Amiga Retrospective, and it was supposed to be an articles about my Amiga collection, which was growing at the time, and then that transferred to Amiga Future after Total Amiga shut down. Amiga Future was a German magazine, right? And eventually they did an English and German version. So I was doing the Amiga models, you know.
I got his level's a little bit low. I'm gonna pick him up. This is the kind of stuff I do in the edit, you know. I'll boost him up by 6. It's probably a little bit too much. Yeah, I'm gonna do 3. At least it's so hard because I'm not really monitoring the audio from the video. I'm monitoring the audio through the stream. Oh man, I'm sorry, Electron Ash. I don't know. It's so weird. I do have. I think there's a new like Twitch auto mod, because I definitely went into Nightbot and allowed people to post links, but I think now there's a new like Twitch bot, auto Twitch bot, that I haven't configured yet, so I apologize for that. I don't mean to auto ban anyone that puts a link in the chat. I want you guys to share links, so I gotta work on that, because I definitely want you guys to be able to share links. It's definitely not my intention. It's just kind of the default setting. And I know I corrected it in the Nightbot, but I think there's a new automatic Twitch mod that they just did with this new update. and it probably bans the links because, you know, on all those other streams, people will probably, you know, put in very suspicious links. But fortunately, you guys are awesome, and I don't have to worry about that. My viewers rock. Yeah, no, it's a bummer. It's good that happened though, because now I know I need to fix that. Geez, for a fast computer, calculating this audio peak is sure taking a long time. Sorry about that.
Just reviewing them, and it morphed into a whole series about the rise, fall, rebirth of the Amiga. And as I was reading, you know, researching the story and going through it, I'd always been an Amigan, but suddenly I was drawn into all of the highs, the lows. It was like some sort of strange, you know, afternoon soap opera, you know. And I thought I always wanted the Amiga 5000 because I had the Amiga 2, 3, 4.
Right.
I used them on my businesses. I wanted the 5. Commodore went bust, and of course that was really the end of the Amiga line as we knew it. So I'm doing all this research for the magazine article, and it just sucked me in. I thought, I wonder if we could actually create a new Amiga, a modern Amiga that's actually designed and developed for Amiga OS.
Right. So now you say, let's go back a little bit. You say you actually use Amigas in your business. So what businesses were those?
Well, my first computer was a Commodore PET. So maybe that dates me a little bit. And of course I traded that in at the time because I couldn't afford to buy this brand new Commodore 64, which played international soccer. So that sucked me in. And then Commodore 128, Commodore 128D, and I think I've told the story before, but I was living in Texas at the time, and my 128D got zapped in a lightning strike.
Ouch.
Came in through the phone line and zapped the whole thing. So with the insurance money, I bought an Amiga 2000, and that's where Amiga's journey started. And at the same time, I changed jobs. In fact, I left the company I was working for, and me and a few partners started a new business. And in that business, I used Amigas for desktop publishing, for graphics work, for video production work. And I had 2000s, 3000s, and eventually 4000s in that business. And that's what we used for all the creative stuff.
Right, great. So now you decide you're going to start developing new hardware. So what was that process? What did you have to get together in order to be able to start doing that and doing that pretty successfully?
I can't even imagine like where you even start with like. Trevor's an amazing guy.
Well, the Amiga 1 X1000 was obviously the first Amiga we developed, and it was in collaboration with, to be honest, it was a collaboration with Ben Herman's Hyperion Entertainment. We set up a company in Belgium, which was funded by myself and a business partner of mine who'd been a business partner with me in other businesses. And we thought it'd be really good to try and develop a new Amiga. It was a learning experience for me. I ended up really running the company and really funding it all myself. So I couldn't, but it was successful, that's the main thing. Financially successful, no. It cost an awful lot of money, and which was never recovered. Technically successful, yes. We got the beta test boards out, and eventually we got commercial boards out, and it was, from a technical point of view, it was very successful. But it taught me a lot about the Amiga market, what customers want, what they're willing to pay for, what they'll accept, what they won't accept. And unfortunately, in our Amiga world, we don't have the resources. We're not mainstream, so we don't have the user base or the technical resources to actually do things at a fast pace.
Right. So that's some of the challenges, obviously, in trying to develop brand new hardware for this platform.
Yeah. So of course, when we did the X1000, we had a deal to buy CPUs from from PA Semi. PA Semi got bought by Apple. Apple shut down production. We couldn't get CPUs. In fact, we paid up to $1,000 each for CPUs at one stage. And we ate the cost of that because we wanted to get the boards out. So we looked for a replacement for the X1000, and that's what you see there, the X5000. and that's based on a Freescale CPU, dual core 5020, although there are quad core 5040s coming along too. And that has a 10-year support cycle, so we're not going to run out of CPUs for that.
Right. So now, of course, you develop a new machine, but it's obvious from knowing what your company's doing with buying the rights to certain pieces of software, you also see that in order to sell the hardware, you have to have software for people to run on.
The biggest issue with Amiga systems, next generation Amiga systems, is the lack of software. So we put a lot of focus and effort on software. We created AmiStore, which is like an on-computer store, which every time you start it up, goes to the website, checks all the updates, and then you can buy the stuff through AmiStore.
That's right. So it basically brings the Amiga up to modern time. Every modern PC now has a store that handles all of your software purchases.
Exactly. So that's been very successful for us.
Right.
It's been successful for developers because they can sell their products through AmiStore and actually make sales. So that's good. We've also we've put together a development team. They're all volunteers. They're not. They work in their spare time, but they're paid. They're paid Amiga rates, but they're paid, which is the main thing. So they're paid for their work. So we've been working on the Enhancer software pack that adds a whole bunch of new features to OS 4. And we're about to bring out a new version of that, 1.3, which adds a lot of new capability. Again, it's a free update for existing users.
Nice. Nice.
I was going to say, maybe
my question.
About, like, I'm very interested. I would ask if I'm a microphone. Like, nostalgia is like a big factor for us about using the old Amigas.
Right.
Maybe you could ask him about, like, you know, what you think the future of Amiga
Okay.
is.
Right.
Yeah. I was hoping to get there at some point.
I want to make sure you're getting there, Anthony.
So we're going. But
Everyone has that.
But one thing we can go. One thing we also do is anything we're developing for OS 4, we're also trying to create it for OS 3. So we believe in the classic market. Don't call me classic. We believe in the classic market. Classic Amiga users are very loyal, and we're going to produce much more software for classic.
Right.
And hardware as well.
Really?
The Prisma Megamix card, which is selling like hotcakes, gives the classic Amiga the ability to play all the sound files. Multitasking with Amiga Classic on 7 hertz machines.
So it is pretty amazing that while you have these modern, then obviously you want to sell X5000, you're also supporting the people who still use their 4000, their 3000, their 2000. So obviously this nostalgia, this history is fully in your view.
Well, it is, because as I say, the Amiga users, I mean, they're still here. Well, when did Commodore go bust? 1994. Here we are, 2017, and Commodore users are still upgrading their Amigas.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a few myself.
This collection's crazy.
And you know,
I might have a couple.
Yeah, I think we're all a bit strange that way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now, so obviously with that view, the other direction, what are your thoughts on where this all is going, next steps?
Well, we're keen, obviously, for the next generation side to get more users. And so the next development, the Amiga 1 A1222, is meant to be, I'm going to say entry-level Amiga, but it's actually a mid-level Amiga 1, but at a very entry-level price. So we're going to try and make it the price as low as possible.
Right.
When I say low as possible, almost at cost, because I want the user base to grow.
Right, and it's very important, obviously, to get the user base, you get the software gets more users, more interest, more hardware sales.
And you can think of
the A1222 looks so cool, man, and they sell it. There's actually an Amiga store called Amiga on the Lake in upstate New York. So what I'm hoping to do is when the A1222 is finally available, Trevor's hoping for the fall, when OS 4 is up and running on it, Anthony and I are going to drive up to Amiga on the Lake and buy ourselves some A1222, so I can't wait. Wow, an expo showing both Anthony's and Trevor's Amiga collections in one room. That's awesome. Yeah, I want to talk to you guys about the VR too. I want to get some VR, and I'm torn between like Oculus or PlayStation VR. I don't know, but it could just be like Ash said, the novelty might just wear off. Oh yeah, retro demo. Trevor lives in New Zealand, so it's pretty far away. The Vive, yeah, the Vive looks awesome. The Vive definitely looks like the best one remotely, but I feel like I might be able to do it in here because I need to put the sensors in the corner of the room and everything, and it seems like the most immersive experience. But I just want to look at Google Street View in VR. That'd be cool. Also, PlayStation has some good games. Yeah, the Oculus 2 and the Vive 2. I mean, obviously the ones out now are definitely first generation, you know. They're only going to get better and probably much better. What's the OCS, ECS, AGA emulation like on a PowerPC Amiga these days? I'm not sure. That's a good question. That's a good question, Electron. I know like with MorphOS and whatnot, it emulates them well until you hit the custom chips. Then it doesn't emulate them so well.
The printer analogy, if we can sell it at a low-cost piece of hardware, we can sell the software, and we can get some money back on the software.
Right, with the store now that Commodore didn't have at the time. Well, Commodore could have been making money off the software that was being sold for the Amiga.
They were really a hardware company, as we know.
Right, right. They were expecting to make money really
by selling
predominantly off
hardware over and over again.
Right.
But, like they did with their Commodore 64.
Right, but now I also see a laptop on this table here.
Oh yeah, well, actually this is Alice.
Now Alice holds a special place in our heart. We have a great friend who does VCF East with us. He brings European computers. Now in Europe they had a little red computer called Alice, came in a red case.
Oh, right.
And we just love whenever he brings Alice out. And here is a modern Alice.
Okay. Well, this was, you can call it Amiga laptop incorporating a classic experience, or just a laptop incorporating a classic experience. But the idea of this, it multi-boots, so you can boot AmiKit, a fully installed version of AmiKit, running on top of Linux. So it boots straight into AmiKit, so it just feels like you're running.
Feels like you're turning an Amiga on.
Yeah. And it runs all classic, but it also has a neat feature we call Rabbit Hole. So you can actually run Linux programs through Rabbit. Click on that, and it opens up on AmiKit. So you can run, I don't know, Firefox, Thunderbird, VLC, anything, Skype.
Wow.
And it all appears to be running on AmiKit.
Now, so is this hardware that you're going to, I don't know, are you selling this now, or is this something that's coming?
Alex over there is the US distributor for Alice, and so he's become actually the main distributor for Alice. So he will supply and support this.
Now, so is this just software you buy, or is this a whole package? You get it with on the laptop?
Initially, it'll be a package, right? All set up. So it'll come with the licenses for. Oh, that's the first thing. Second thing is you can boot straight into OS4 Classic. So you get an option to go into OS4 Classic.
Great.
Or you go into Windows. If you go into Windows, the option to boot into OS4 Classic again, but with more memory and better graphics. And you can install enhancer software on it, of course, because it works. Of course, under AmiKit, we are releasing enhancer for OS4 Classic.
Really?
So, sorry, for OS3 Classic. So there will be a version of that, so you can install it on there.
Wow.
So you've got the options, what you want to do.
Right,
I tend to use that. This is my laptop of choice now when I'm traveling. I boot it in AmiKit, and if I need stuff which I need,
actually has an icon called Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, Rabbit Hole. So I look at, I don't know, I got here.
It's key in order for, I think, the Amiga OS, future OSs to really be valid. They need to run modern programs. That's why the Dropbox is key. I use Dropbox like every day, and it needs to be able to run that stuff. Yo, what's up, Harleen Francis? How are you? Awesome to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
1222 running on Alice. So, kind of freaky, but done a bit along. I mean, that's it.
So it's pretty amazing to think in 2017 that you could have 3 machines to choose from to buy to run Amiga when Commodore went out of business so long ago.
Well, it is quite amazing, and it's quite amazing. It's not just Aeon, it's the community as a whole have kept this thing going. And what I quite like is when I travel around the world now, I see a lot of younger guys. They're not all like me. Although if you see the Viva Amiga movie, you see a very good-looking younger guy with black hair. I guess it took so long to make that my hair went grey. Sorry, Zach. Yeah, but it's good to see. And I look around here, and there's all sorts of people looking at this, all ages.
Right.
All right. Maybe their dads brought them along, or their granddads. I don't know. But it's good to see that.
Right. Because that's what you need. You need the new people coming in. Just selling it to old guys like me.
We'll buy it, but you know, you need more people.
Right. Yeah, always, and that I think is what some of the people who are selling it are saying. They're really trying to get it out there and get the news out there, and that's, again, it's great that you come to these shows. You come a long way.
Yeah. Well, see, I also do the. I am still very much into the classic Amigas. I write articles for Amiga Future called Classic Reflections, and it looks at all the companies or individuals that made a real contribution to the Amiga story. And so each one of those takes a lot of research, and they usually run to about 5,000 letters. You know, so it's quite a.
Well, and it's easy to see. I mean, so all this energy that you have for the Amiga, it's just incredible to see someone come in and basically pick up the reins of these great people who came before, who developed those systems, the Dave Haney.
Well, as I say, standing on the shoulders of giants, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you need.
So, retro demo, before I forget, how does Trevor fund what he does? I don't know all the ins and outs, but Trevor is what's called a business angel, and he is an investor. So this is sort of one of his investments. He's got multiple investments in many different businesses, and I think he uses the profits from those businesses to fund AEON. And it's really just fun for him. You know, it's his passion. He loves Amiga. He always wanted an Amiga 5000. Amiga 5000 never came, and he's like, you know what? I've got the resources to make one, so I'm going to do it. So that makes it even more special, because I'm sure he wants to make money with AEON and the future of Amiga, but it's really a passion project for him. I think what it comes down to. But I hope it works out for him. Like I said, I'm definitely buying an A1222 as soon as they're available. I can't wait. That thing is awesome.
You need to obviously have that energy to even try to do this. It's not. I can't even fathom what.
Exactly. Remotely, he's doing it out of love. That's amazing. It makes it even more amazing. I guess if you don't realize, I'm like really sick today. I almost didn't stream, but I said the stream must go on, so I'm trying to mute my mic every time I hawk up a loogie. So that's why I'm letting the video do more of the talking today.
What it takes to start a hardware company this day and age.
Well, of course, what we do is try and be lean. So it still takes a lot of money. That's the biggest issue, money. But you have to be very lean in the operation. You have to be able to pick good partners. So we had very good hardware partners in Varisys, and now called Ultra Varisys. And of course, their main job really is designing systems for defense contractors. So they're a pretty high-tech company. You've got to have good distributors, and Amiga Kit have been a good distributor for us. But you need distributors in other parts of the world. So in the US, we now have Amiga on the Lake, who are doing very good things. In Germany, we've got good distributors like Alenia and other people like that.
And now to talk a little about the software that you're directly involved in. So you've picked up Personal Paint, Aladdin 4D, ImageFX.
FX, Octamed. My only disappointment is, although we've got about 20-25 developers working on it for us, you know, not full time obviously, but you know, in the evenings and weekends. Some do a bit more than that. Things move slowly. You know, if we could afford to pay 25 developers to work full time, developers are expensive, as we know. But we are making inroads with Octamed. I hope to be that out next.
And of course, we all know, I mean, Octamed is big in the music for games, and that's what the Amiga was big in, was graphics, music. So you seem to are trying to cover all of the classic Amiga's strengths.
I mean, what I want to do is have all those upgraded, a minimal viable upgrade, so it actually looks, it's really modernized and upgraded. As we did with Personal Paint, we put a lot of work into that. So I want to do it with the other software we bought as well. Because to me, those classic titles are so Amiga. I mean, I had them all as a classic user. I still have them.
I do the streams that I love. It's nothing compared to what Trevor does. He's an amazing guy. This guy is so inspiring. Octamed, man, I wish I had the skills. I wish I had music skills, but I don't. So I gotta stick to the image.
Great. So what do you have coming next?
Well, I mentioned enhancer software.
Yeah.
That's going to bring in quite a few new features. We're doing some quite exciting things on the graphics side. I don't want to say too much about that at the moment, but that's going to create some, I think, some excitement among Amiga users, on next generation Amiga users. We want to bring out the enhancer for OS4, for OS3 Classic, for emulation, and for some of these faster accelerator cards that are coming along, like Vampire.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really giving the classic user base a real boost.
Yeah.
So I'm particularly excited about that. I saw that demonstrated at Ami West last year, and it was really good.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. And it's really nice to meet you.
Great meeting you.
Also, AmigaBill.
I have two things.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Yeah, no, Trevor doesn't sell the Vampire. He loves it, though. I think I just got some shots of his computer, so let's take a look at that. Because I want that A1222 badly. It's awesome. Oh, here, now he walks us through the machines here. That's what I wanted to have him do. So, yeah, let's, you know what, let's finish it up, man. Let's stick with it. Right, guys? I'm having fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. You guys are the best. Let's see what we got here. So yeah, when it comes to the color, so inside of this old Comp USA, they have mercury vapor lamps, which are very energy efficient, but they aren't good to shoot under. A lot of times they flicker, so I had to adjust the shutter of the camera so I wouldn't get any flicker. And the color is just whack. So what I'll do when I release the actual video is make these colors a lot nicer, because they're pretty washed out right now. You know, I could warm it up a little bit, give them. Everyone looks kind of dead. I can stretch the. Let's see. I can. Wow, they've changed a lot of things in this version. I can saturate the reds a little bit more. Color wheels, curves. There we go. That's what I wanted. Hue saturation curves. So I can go to the reds. And I can, because the red in his tie is, in real life it pops really nice, but here it's kind of washed out. So I can increase the red saturation, so you can see like the red in his tie is starting to pop now. You gotta make sure the boing ball red pops. So like I literally go through like every shot and every YouTube video that I make, and I do this kind of stuff to make sure it looks good. I'll also make the background darker and get more information out of the shadows, because right now the white wall is the brightest thing in the frame, which it's always going to be the brightest thing, but I can tone it down a bit so we can make Trevor and Anthony pop a little bit better. That's the kind of stuff I do. That's why you're just looking at raw footage right now, so it'll look much better when I make the actual video. Aw, thanks. Awesome, guys. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying it. Yo, P. Fontaine, what is up, my friend? Pierre from Westchester Amiga User Group in the house. What's up, buddy? Yeah, he you know, Pierre, what the heck did he say? He's got a lot of a lot of software. I don't want to start rambling off right now because I might give you the wrong information, but I can go back and listen for you. More HDRs and Ultra HDs, please. Yeah, Electron for sure. And the other thing I do as well is I always adjust the shutter speed, because when you shoot a CRT monitor, you get that roll. So they're all a little bit different. It's not, a lot of times, like, it's weird. The software dictates the actual scan rate of the monitor as well. So depending on what software is up on the screen, I have to slightly adjust the frame rate, the shutter angle. So I do that as well. But like if you saw our Commodore Mega exhibit, I would have a wide shot, and in the wide shot there would always be at least 1 or 2 monitors with the roll, because I couldn't fix that, because if I if I set it to the 1200, then the 65 is going to be out of sync, because they have different scan rates. Oh, THX. Yeah, THX is the Lucasfilm certification. I don't even know if they do it anymore. Do they still do it? You're right, it basically has no meaning anymore. I mean, back in the 90s, I remember when that THX logo came up on the front of a Laserdisc, you were like, yes, this is going to be like amazing sound and video. And they really did have high standards, but now they they lowered their standards quite a bit, and I don't even know if they have it anymore, but the intentions were good.
Okay, so you mentioned the importance of bringing in new users. So how do you think it will be possible to rope in those people who don't have the history that you have with the Amiga, that I have with the Amiga?
It's a really good question, and
Thanks,
I'll try to answer it this way. As I go around the shows, I see a lot of youngsters come in, and when the games are played, they immediately go onto the Amiga and start playing the games, and whether it's next generation or classic. I think that as we bring in the cheaper models that are more accessible, you're going to see, and I am seeing younger Amigans. Well, when I say younger, I mean probably 20s and 30s. I don't mean 5s and 10s, but I am seeing them use the equipment and buying systems. And we're starting to get customers now who never ever had an Amiga. I can think of at least 5 people who never had an Amiga, but they bought the system because they thought it was cool. And it's part of that retro scene. Retro's big. Hence you get these vintage computer festivals. And not everyone wants this to be mainstream. They want to be a bit different. They want to try something different.
Do you think there's a little bit of that? Obviously, Mac is big, Windows is big. Do you think there might be a little bit of,
Was there a Mac 30? Was there a Mac 30? No. Was there a Windows 30?
I don't think a lot of people use those look back very much.
Exactly.
It's a good point.
Amiga rules. Amiga users rule.
Of course, we've got to make sure that we keep the energy with the Amiga users who want to stay. And that's why I don't like all the nonsense that goes around, the trolling, the infighting. To me, that's just counterproductive.
Right.
And
absolutely.
It scares people away. So you can embrace all Amiga flavors, whether it's Amiga OS4, Classic, MorphOS, AROS, emulation, FPGA. To me, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's just be Amigans.
As long as you're having fun with it, as long as you're enjoying it.
And the more you create the Amiga flavor, the more we're in the news. I mean, that's why I put blogs out. I do the publicity stuff. I go to shows, and just to promote it. And 3 or 4 years ago, probably no one heard of much next generation really outside of the Amiga computer.
Right.
Now we're getting.
That's all. Game too late. What's up, dude? Oh yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny because obviously the floppy on the Kickstart is blue. I think I figured out why it's doing it, because the screen behind me is green. And I use the color picker to notch out the green, but for some reason it still notches out the blue. It doesn't make sense, but I think it does actually, because there seems to be a setting called chroma key, and I have it checked, but I think the chroma key setting just chroma keys out anything that's like chroma key blue color or chroma key green color. So for the next stream, I'll try and turn off chroma key and just use the color picker only and see if that fixes it. But maybe I don't want to fix it. Maybe it's kind of cool, right? Yo, Inverse Phase, what's up, dude? We're checking out VCF Southeast, just like we came around to you at VCF East. Now we're checking out VCF Southeast. We're here with Trevor Dickinson, Amiga Legends. This guy is awesome. I love this guy. Mac 30, exactly. That does say everything, right? Retro demo. Windows 30. Hope you enjoyed the pain we inflicted on you for 3 decades. You like the chroma key on the hat? I might stick with it. We'll play a little more Trevor. I want to make sure we get to Glenn as well, and then maybe even play a couple of games. But we'll see. Let's see. It's 3:39 here in New York. I gotta wrap this up by 5, so we still got a little time. But man, I have so much footage from VCF Southeast. I could play it all night. I know some of you guys would be psyched about that, and I would too. But I don't think I'll last it that long because I'm I'm a little ill, and I gotta get some dinner with the missus. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. Yeah, you can definitely live vicariously through this video. And I'm gonna, like I was saying to the guys, I don't think I'm gonna make like a highlight video, like a 15-minute highlight video. I'm just gonna release each of these interviews. We got Trevor, we got Zach, we got all the guys on the panel, Glenn, which I'll show you guys in a minute. We got this awesome Amiga user who had like the ultimate 1200. I think I'm just gonna release them as a playlist, so you can really just sink your teeth into them, because these guys are all intelligent and have a lot of really good information. So there's nothing to really cut out except cutting in a few B-roll shots and close-ups that I get when I'm moving the camera. So I think I'm just gonna make a playlist, because we got so much good footage. I just don't want to leave it out, because I know you guys who are really into it will really enjoy it.
A little bit of mainstream traction.
And do you think there's a little bit of there's some people out there who just want something different?
Oh, well, remember what did Apple say? Dare to be different? Mm-hmm. Well, they've stopped being different. They're just cool.
He's trashing Apple. I love it.
And they charge for that coolness, but the difference is not really there. And I've also they've always been very restrictive. They control you, whereas Amiga's always been like Amigans. God, we just pull things apart. We try and do things the way they weren't supposed to be done.
Right.
We're very inventive, and I think that invention is really important, and that ability to actually look beyond what you're provided with is really important.
Well, yeah,
I love this guy. It's like an awesome Amiga motivational speaker. I love this guy.
Someone who used it ends up making it.
Yeah.
Who would think of that in any other platform?
I don't know. I mean, if you asked me in 2007. Before that, I had a meeting with Michael Batalana, and that's what led to me getting involved. That I'd be making Amigas in 2012, for example, let alone 2017, I wouldn't have believed you. It's just one of those things. But that's why I called that the Amiga 1 X5000, because I always wanted.
Always wanted the 5000.
Wait for the next one.
And is the next one you want a 6000?
Oh, God. I love this guy. He's such a good dude.
I didn't say anything.
No,
Trevor,
you didn't.
Awesome. I love this guy.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much. Cheers. I hope that goes well for you. My voice.
Oh man. Oh, so Electron, you're working on a Genesis game? That's awesome, dude. I would love to play your Genesis game. Uncle Amigo, yeah, Uncle Amiga, that's awesome. Retro Demo, you want to see Bill versus Petro in a death match? Who loves Amiga more? I think it's more like Trevor versus Petro. So he walked us through his machines here. Let's take a look at them.
This is the Alice laptop, and actually I've got one of the developers here. Ken, come over here. Ken was one of the development team behind the Alice laptop.
Wow,
and he did a lot of work on actually the integration side, didn't you?
Pretty much.
Yeah, he did all the integration. So Alice is obviously a laptop incorporating a classic experience. So it'll boot into AmiKit, directly into AmiKit. It'll boot in directly into OS4 Classic, or boot into Windows, where you can choose to run OS4 Classic under WinUE. Which has some extra features and benefits. Under AmiKit, it has the ability, with a rabbit hole feature, to go down below into the Linux below it and run Linux programs like Firefox, Thunderbird, VLC, LibreOffice, but run within the AmiKit OS3 Classic environment. So you really feel that that's what you've got. And this is what I take with me as my laptop of choice now, awesome. Even on Skype. but it's all obviously in the Linux side. It actually runs OS4 quite well under emulation, but under WinUAE, and I've installed the enhancer software pack under it, the classic for OS4 Classic, and that runs pretty good as well. So really good, and it's my laptop I use. It's emulation. What I really want is a PowerPC laptop. One day maybe.
That'd be sick.
This is our latest commercial product.
And Tower
and
57,
this is an Amiga
that game is
1
great.
X5000. This is again Ken's Amiga 1, and it was his beta system. It's been now released officially, so it's out in the wild. So you're fully free to film this. It's actually running a demo version of Daniel Musner's Tower 57. He created it especially for us for this show. So he's allowed us to show it, so you're free to film that.
That game was awesome.
Playing it. What do you think about it?
That's awesome. Oh my god.
That brings me right back.
A little Chaos Engine.
Yeah, right back.
It's pretty good though.
Oh, it's a great game. The graphics are nice. It's smooth, and it's running in a window.
It's running in a window.
Modern Amiga.
And the X5000 is actually very stable. It's running a long word. It's a pre-release version of Amiga 1, Amiga OS4 1, Final Edition, Update 1, pre-release. Pre-release because it's for the X5000, and there's some more bell tweaks to be done to it. But generally it's really stable, and it shows the power of the X5000. I have to say, I'm sorry for my X1000, but my X5000 is now my Amiga 1 of choice, because it's just so much smoother. And the X1000 was no slow coach.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Remotely interested, Adam. I was just thinking the same thing. Like that X5000, when you see it in person, it's like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. And Tower 57, I've been dying to play that game, and it was amazing. I can't wait for that game to come out. This was a cool exhibit. He's the man. No, yo, Formulation. What's up, Ravi? You rock, dude. Hey, I just listened. This morning. I've been sick, man, and I missed Retro Hour on Friday, so I caught up with it this morning, and I loved the episode with you guys not having a guest. You guys just talking about yourselves and all your experiences was awesome. So anyone in chat, I know you probably know, but you have to check out the Retro Hour podcast. They are amazing. Dan, Ravi, Paul, and I can't remember your buddy's name. I feel really bad. But it's an amazing retro game podcast based out of the UK, and they are the coolest dudes ever, and I have a blast listening to them. There's so many awesome podcasts, man. I'm psyched. We have it's like, you know, the retro hobby is just exploding with amazing podcasts, and Retro Hour is certainly one of the best. Yes, Roar, he does show the A1222. We're getting to that right now. Electron Ash, I agree. Retro Hour is a very superb show. You know, it's so, you know, Ravi, what kind of surprised me a little bit is I think you guys are a little bit younger than I thought. I thought you guys were my age, but I could tell when you were talking about like your first experiences, and your buddy was like, oh, my first experience was with Windows 95. I was like, ooh, these guys are young. I remember I used to dial into BBSs on my Atari 800 with my acoustic coupler, and I had a 2400 baud modem on my 2E. Way before that crazy interweb thing. But so I couldn't quite get a handle on how old you guys were, but I feel like I got a few years on you. But the show was awesome. Oh, you're 33, totally. Yeah, I was gonna say 10 years younger. That's perfect. How old am I? Dude, I don't even know how old I am. I'm gonna be 42 in like 3 weeks. So yeah, I've got you by like 10 years. That makes total sense.
Next to that, we've got, again, it's a beta test version. Ken's an Amiga 1 A1222 beta tester. Ken's running Linux on it at the moment, Debian Linux. It does run Amiga OS 4.1 update, Final Edition update 1, actually quite well. But because the beta version, Hyperion don't want to show it in demonstrating until it's up and running. Their worry is that trolls will pick it apart and
that's too bad.
have a go at the operating system, but to be honest, it runs really well. And I've created a video of it running, not on this. It runs really well.
Yeah, Trevor showed it to us running, and it did run really well. He just didn't want, I guess I respect that. They feel like their product's not 100% done yet, so they don't want people poking around with it, which is totally understandable. I did watch BBS, the documentary by Jason Scott, Inverse Phase. It's awesome. It's awesome, dude. That's a great film. I still have, we'll see, hopefully when you come to the party, I have like a 3-ring binder still filled with, I used to print out on my Epson FX80 dot matrix printer, like all my BBS sessions. So I still have somewhere like a 3-ring binder filled with my BBS sessions and my CompuServe sessions, maybe a couple of Prodigy sessions in there too. I'm not sure, I have to look and see, but those were good times. I even had my own BBS. I ran my own like Wildcat BBS system on my Apple IIe. It wasn't very good though because you can only call like in the evening, and then it meant that my parents couldn't use the phone, so it didn't last very long. But it was fun. It was fun when it did work. Pierre, you thought I was younger? Cool, man. Yeah, a lot of people. I guess it's all my wife's healthy food. Yeah, I'm 41. I'll be 42. So when I got my Amiga, I was 12. I got the 500 in '87. So I was 12. I was born in '75. And when I started going to WOG, I was like 13 when I started WOG. Roy, you wonder what the price will be on the A1222. I wonder too. €400. I think Trevor was saying that the motherboard costs around $500. But I'm not, don't quote me on that price, but it seems like the motherboard's in like the $500 range. So I don't know what the whole machine will be, but if the motherboard's $500 with the processor, then the machine's hopefully going to come in like under 1,000, which would be awesome. €400, that could be. I don't know what the conversion is, but it could be. Oh, Searchlight 3.5, nice. Yeah, Electron Ash, Jason Scott's amazing. Yeah, and actually, the guys at Retro Hour did an awesome interview with Jason Scott. That was 2 episodes ago. That was really good. He's a really amazing guy. I got to hang out with him at the Viva Amiga World Premiere, obviously because he's a big part of the film. $450, remotely interested? Okay. So I was $450. Is that $450 for the motherboard or for the computer? I mean, that's very, very reasonable. Yeah, I'm totally getting one of those. I can't wait. Hopefully Hyperion will get that OS 4.1 all worked out because I want one badly.
I hope this will be out commercially by AmiWest this year, but it all depends on Hyperion and some of the drivers they're working on.
Trevor, where can we buy these or see some of your work?
In the USA, there's a number of developers around the retailers around the world. Our main stockist is Amiga Kit, but there's a US stockist, Amiga on the Lake, and they're doing pretty good service. Ken's system here came from Amiga on the Lake. This was probably one of the first US systems bought from Amiga on the Lake. So he's one of the first customers. I'd imagine Amiga on the Lake will also stock these when they're out. You can also order from any other Amiga retailers.
And so you were saying that this is a lower cost?
Yeah.
Because obviously the big challenge. I hit him with the hard question here. I had to, because that's the first thing I hear from everyone is like, oh man, next gen Amiga is cool, but man, it's just way too expensive. So I had to ask him how he's dealing with that. Challenge that all the people say to me when I talk to them, like, yeah,
so expensive.
I love the new Amigas. I just can't afford them.
Well, this is about $1,000 cheaper than the X1000. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
that's great.
That's the number I use. So we really got the cost down on this one. 2 reasons. One, we got the cost down because the cost of the CPU is expensive but a lot lower. But 2, because of the software, we can leverage off the software and get some of the development costs back on the software. So we use software as a way of getting the cost down on the hardware. It's still expensive, but for small volume production of a bespoke model, I think it's a fantastic price. Really, it should be a lot higher, but we want to sell them. The A1222, this is a case that Ken's used. It doesn't mean it's going to be this case, because the board's very small. The board's about that size. It's tiny. I want to make that almost at cost, manufacturing cost. So it's very attractive for someone to say, oh, okay, I can afford, to pay for that. It doesn't really matter.
I want one that's so bad. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's easy to complain about the price, but I mean he's not even making any money on it. It's basically what it costs him. So you can't really complain. He's doing the best he can to get the price down. Like he's aware that they're expensive. This guy's amazing. I love Trevor. Robbie's saying that he bets that they're selling them for less than they cost to make. They might be. Well, he was saying before, like his goal is to expand the user base. So he's really not making money on these. Trevor is an awesome guy. And meeting him at the show was one of the coolest things ever. This guy's great. He's really, really great. And he's really fun to hang out with too.
And hopefully again use the Ami store and the software we're developing to get the money back through the software. Think of the printer analogy and the printer inks. They sell the hardware very cheap and they claw it back on the software. I don't think we'll be quite like that, but the hardware will be as low as we can make it. We want it to be the lowest ever next generation Amiga cost-wise.
Awesome, man. Good luck.
Sweet. All right, well, there's Trevor. Adam, I hope you like it. I hope I did all right. I'm not a professional interviewer, neither is Anthony, but we do our best. Just we're getting better at it. And once I cut it together and put it up on YouTube, it'll be much more digestible. You guys are just looking at raw footage with me. A lot of people won't even show their raw footage, but I don't care. The raw footage is so good. These guys, like Trevor, is so awesome on camera. It doesn't require that much editing. So that makes me very happy. I think it's time to look at some Glenn Keller, guys. What do you think? Hell's Angel, I'm not sure if they're 100% compatible or not. That's a very good question. I should have asked him that. As I said, I'm getting better at the interviews, but I'm not there yet. Thanks everyone for hanging out today, man. It's awesome. You guys, like I said before, I'm pretty sick today. I'm enough to be uncomfortable, but you guys are making the day much better and making me feel much improved because I love hanging out with you guys. The Amiga community is the best, man. I love you guys. Remotely, the way we were zipping around the show was amazing. We tried, we tried to cover everything. We didn't have much time, unfortunately. One day is not enough, There's the man. Okay, yeah. So we got Glenn, we got Zach. Oh yeah, and then that's our show closing. Which I don't know if we're even going to do a show. Like I said, I think I'm going to do more of a playlist because we got so much good information from everyone. It's really hard to cut stuff out. All right, so here we go, Glenn. I'm so old school, I don't even put spaces in. I still do the underscore. I don't know, I like it. What can I say? Inverse. Oh, Trevor playing Turrican? That would be awesome. Rumor has it that Trevor might be going to Ami Party. I mean, he was asking me about the video and everything that I did last year, and he's like, I want to go. You going? I'm like, yeah, I'm going. Well, I'm not saying, I didn't buy the tickets yet, so I don't know 100% if I'm going, but I'm planning on going. Oh, Inverse, don't worry, I'll be ready. I'll be better. I'm going to, do a couple of shots of bourbon tonight, and hopefully I'll be better for the weekend, you know what I'm saying? That's a good one. Yeah, putting an FPGA on an A1222, running the miming AGA core. That would be very interesting, Electron. That's a cool idea. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, and also guys, Adam, good point. We saw at the beginning, Anthony was carrying around this 360 video. Anthony had a 360 camera, and he uploaded them to his YouTube channel. It's Anthony Becker, and you can go on and look at the footage of the show in 360 degrees, put on your Oculus Rift, and look around the show. It's pretty awesome. Oh, formulation. Next week is the Atari special. Sweet. Oh, I was just telling the guys before, they asked me what my second favorite computer is, because we all know the answer to what the first favorite computer is. And my second favorite computer is the Atari 800. I love the Atari 8-bits so much. And we actually met up with the guys from the Antic podcast, the Atari podcast here at the show. And one of the guys, Randy, also has a podcast called Floppy Days, and he interviewed us for Floppy Days, and we talked about some Atari stuff as well. So I'm like super psyched. It's another one of my favorite podcasts. Adam, which interview? Oh, the interview you did with Glenn? Yeah, it was amazing. Bourbon for a cold, you know it. My old school Italian family, they used to do blackberry brandy. They used to drink blackberry brandy and then like wrap themselves in 10 blankets and just like sweat it out. The Atari 130 XE, sweet. Commodore 64. I had a 64C. I still have my 64C and I love it. But the funny thing is, I think my dad bought me the Atari 800 because of the loading times. Like I'd pop in that disk drive, man, the 800 would be up and running in no time. The 64 took a while to load up. But I love the 64. Skate or Die on the 64, one of my all-time faves. I love it.
Okay, we'll just see how it goes.
Glenn is the nicest guy in the world too. Oh my God. We're so lucky. Like all the people in this community are so nice and so helpful and so giving. It's just been like a pleasure. It's been a pleasure doing all this stuff. Oh, you're going to talk with the Atari head of marketing about the ST, the Lynx, and the Falcon. Sweet. Oh, dude, I can't wait, Robbie. That's awesome, man. Turbo tape through the 64. Oh, yeah, that's all. Paperboy. Adam, he is so humble. Glenn is the most humble guy. And the thing is, he's so smart and so nice at the same time. I mean, when you're designing chips and imaging sensors, like you have to have... He's incredibly smart, and extremely down to earth and humble and nice. Bill Hurd said it was mainly the IEC port on the 64 that caused most of the slow loading from the disk. He said the same thing. Yeah, he said the same thing at VCF, Electron Ash. I'm sure that's the case. And Jiffy does make a huge improvement. I'm not sure if you have to mod the 1541. See, Hell's Angel is a 64 expert. I'm certainly not. But one of the cool things I got, it's so funny. One of the cool things I got at Ami Party was the UK 1541, the UK 1541 SD drive replacement for the 1541, and I want to put that in my Commodore 64. So I'm gonna do that. I also got a fast load cartridge for it, so I'm super psyched to try those out. The guys at Ami Party, they made it. One of the guys who hangs out at Ami Party made this UK 1541, and his whole thing is he wanted it to emulate the 1541 as close as possible because they're super into the demo scene, obviously. And when you're working at that deep of a level, he wants something that's the most compatible, so all the demo scene stuff would work with his SD card device. The Retro Hour episode with Alex from Bits was a great episode. Your favorite so far? Oh, it was great. I don't know. I can't really pick a favorite. I like them all. And it's so funny. A lot of the episodes of Retro Hour that I end up really liking are the ones I didn't even expect. Because, it's definitely got a European-centric feel, which makes sense. So there's a few guests on who I'd never heard of before. And they turned out to be great. And I ended up learning a lot. So I can't really pick a favorite. You know what? Zach is my favorite episode. There we go. Zach's my favorite episode of the Retro Hour. All right, let's get into Glenn here because I got to bounce in about an hour, and Glenn's all right. 25 minutes. Let's get into this. And you know what? While I start it, I need to use the boys' room, but I'll just roll it for you. But wait, I'll give you guys some color. That's a little better.
Right, so.
Okay.
Here we have.
You want me to look into the camera at you?
You can look at Anthony.
I'll look at him, okay?
So, best thing about these vintage expos is you never know who you're going to meet, and I'm just in awe of meeting this Glenn Keller designed the Paula chip, and I mean of all the custom chips in the Amiga, It's the one chip that really didn't change much throughout its entire life. And I mean, it's testament to this design and this amazing sound. And I'm sure we all want to know a little bit about you. So how did you get into chip design?
I got into chip design when I came to San Francisco looking for a job. And one of my job interviews, I went down to the Sunnyvale station and met this guy named Jay Miner. And we got along, and his name was Jay Glenn and mine was Glenn Jay, so it worked pretty good.
So what did you do before that?
Before that, I was working in Scotland at the University of Edinburgh. We were doing research into wave energy, into getting electricity from ocean waves.
Wow, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
So what was some of, you know, I guess when you got into Amiga, what was there already like an idea of what they wanted the sound chip to do? Or was it like an open slate and you were trying just to figure out what the next jump was going to be?
Well, the famous whiteboard had already happened. So there was a structure, the basic structure was already in place. And so I was tasked with doing, you know, being the least experienced chip designer, I was tasked with doing the peripherals, the audio, the disc.
I was, oh God, that was great. I was like, oh God, I didn't mute the mic. I was like, I wonder if anyone will notice. And I get back, sure enough, you guys noticed. The naked gun moment. Oh God. I did mute the mic halfway through though. Oh God. That was hilarious. Sorry about that one, guys. Well, hopefully you got a laugh out of it. That's pretty embarrassing. Oh yeah. Oh, don't worry. You clipped it. Thanks, Hell's Angel. That hopefully it'll make like Twitch fails.
Controller, the UART for the RS-232 and the joystick port. So all the things that weren't the big heavy-duty audio video stuff.
Right, and we often forget, we always think of Paul as the audio chip, but it really did a whole lot more.
Yeah, all those things were in there.
Right, so you know, what was sort of the process like back then? What was
Oh, for designing the chip? Well, you started by drawing it on vellum, or coming up with, you know, the structure first, and then you draw it on a vellum sheet and all the gates and things. And then after that, the layout guys would go and digitize it and put it into some kind of database. I never really knew how they did it at that point. And then when they finished, you would print out the entire schematic of the whole thing, and you'd print out the entire layout of the entire thing, every gate, every transistor, and you would get out on the floor with two guys, one each with a yellow pen, and you would draw the wires one at a time, starting from the pins, and make sure everything was connected right.
It's a very manual and labor-intensive process.
Right.
About how long would you say it took you to do it? Do you have any estimate?
I don't really remember, but it certainly wasn't a day. It probably wasn't more than 3 weeks. So let's just say 2 weeks.
Wow. It's a lot in 2 weeks.
So that was, you know what, I was thinking about my naked gun moment. I'm gonna have to edit that out because it was a little confusing. It didn't take 2 weeks to design the Paul chip, just for the record. We talked to them about that after, I think, a few wires got crossed there, and it definitely took a lot longer than 2 weeks to design Paula. Yeah, Robbie, he's amazed by the interest people still have in Amiga. He was blown away by it, and he is a very humble guy, very humble.
Weeks.
Yeah, some people are good at tedious work, or I don't know, good, but you know, I can do it.
Right. So, and were there any other things that you did at Amiga at that time, before the Commodore purchase, before the first machine came out? Any other parts of it that you were involved in?
I did get involved. I didn't get involved in the other chips at that point. Of course, I worked on the breadboards, And so each chip designer would take the actual chip logic and also make a breadboard out of discrete components, which we used to give people demos and for the software development.
Right, and that was what was taken to the Consumer Electronics Show, the Lorraine with those 3 big stacks of boards. So one of those big stacks was yours.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. So,
and at some point there was a transition. It was partly me, but probably it was one of these circling of ideas things where you start out with one idea and it gets better and better as you talk about it. But at some point we decided to improve the audio. I think it only had 8 bits, period, with no pulse modulation. And I had talked to the layout guys and we found out that we could probably improve it quite a lot in the same area if we did, A, B, and C. And Jay gave the okay we built an entirely new breadboard with the new audio structure. And it was quite a lot better than the original architecture. So that was cool. That was a lot of fun.
Right. So what was the work environment like there?
It's an office. You go in, you hang out with your guys, you have lunch. Right, I mean,
Anthony wants to hear him talking about
was intense.
guys beating each other up.
You've heard,
Like
if you
Bill
look
heard.
at any of the other people, you can, it was an intense work environment. A bunch of young guys hanging out, working really, really intensely, and making a lot of mistakes and fixing them. And what can I say?
Right. So then, after Commodore purchases Amiga, and you guys finish the first machine.
Right.
I understand you had said that they had kept you on as a contractor after that.
Yeah, I worked as a contractor for a while.
And what sort of things did you work on at Commodore after
that? After Amiga shut down.
Yeah.
Well, I did work for a while before they shut down on trying to cost reduce the original Amiga 1000. And then that was mostly taken over by the Commodore engineers, and it was a good thing because they were so much better at it than I was. When I saw what they had done on the Amiga 500, I was completely blown away. They had done because I knew all the circuits and what we had done, and I looked at what they had done, and it was completely blown away by their work at getting the cost down and getting the functionality the same, and the way all the little details of how they did the board and all that stuff, just amazing.
Right.
But after that, eventually Amiga closed down, and I went and worked on the AAA chipset, which was an attempt for a next generation.
Right, so this would be after the 1200 and 4000, the next machine after that, or was it still before those? Because I know there's a lot of stories about that timeline where they were working on the AAA chipset, but then it was kind of reduced to the AGA chipset.
I actually don't know too much about that, probably because I was focused on, okay, I'm going to do this design. I wasn't really very connected to Commodore as a company so much. Right. I was working, with the engineers directly, and I wasn't paying that much attention to, what Commodore was shipping or anything at that point. I was like, okay, this is a new chipset, I can work on it. And
so what was the idea for that, as far as what the piece that you were working on?
Well, the piece I worked on all 3 chips in this time. I know that the audio was the original Amiga was 8-bit audio with 6-bit pulse modulation, and the new one had 16 bits out of the box plus modulation. It had more channels. The disk controller was much more effective. It could read a bunch of more different codes than the original one. There were I know that we increased. You could have faster clock speeds by then, so I know we improved all the video modes and stuff, but I have no memory of what we did. We also improved the blitter and all those things, and again, I don't remember what we did.
How far along do you think it was by the time?
Oh, I think there were actual chips.
That's
not from my memory, from other things I've read. Okay.
Right.
So because I went looking around on the web to see what people were saying about it. So my memory of it is I kind of lost track after I stopped working on it. But from what I've read, the chips were actually made and started, the debugging was underway when the whole thing fell apart.
Right.
But
right. And I think Dave Haney has some pictures of those boards in his video.
Yeah, he would be the guy to really talk to about that, because I wasn't there by then.
And I guess a big question you would ask anybody is how does it feel all this time later that people are still kind of loving the sound that your chip made enough to keep using it?
It's pretty amazing, actually. I'm just like, I'm blown away. It's just like, how can that be, right? So I'm extremely honored that people are still having an interest in this stuff that much time later. And it's just great. I mean.
And what have you been doing since then? What sort of projects have you been involved with?
Well, I worked on a couple of game machines, which some of the RJ and Dave worked on as well, the Handy and the 3DO game machine. I worked on those guys, and after that I went off and got a job doing designing image sensors. So that was quite a while ago, 1998. My gosh, it's been a while. Yeah, so I'm still designing image sensors.
Wow.
I always liked cameras, and I never really liked video games that much. So getting into a place where I could design them was like really amazing for me. So.
And so how did your work at Commodore, did it help get you to that point?
No, it was a completely different connection.
Completely different.
I mean, clearly it got me to that point in the fact that I knew how to design chips. So, yes, it did. But the connection was not the same. I had been doing mostly board work and hadn't been doing so much internal, because at 3DO and Handy, mostly I did the prototypes. It built the same kind of thing we did at Amiga, where you built these boards, you know, with logic on them that emulated the chip, so that, because I still remember the 3DO thing, that nobody believed that you could put a graphics accelerator on a video game. Okay, so we had to show them, right? Which meant carrying this big, you know, thing that looked like a cray. You know, it had like 18 boards out at an angle, and carry it to Japan and run it and show them.
Right, so you built that, or?
Well, I built part of it.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Which part were you involved in? Was it again with audio, or was it with something else?
Well, I think I worked on most of the pieces. By then I was an old guy, or a semi-old guy. Now I'm a really old guy. But by then I was the old guy, so I was doing some tutoring of some of the younger engineers who were doing the other pieces as well. So I was doing backup, and okay, here's how you do timing analysis, here's you know, other things of that nature.
Now, when you're taking a chip design, which obviously is designed to be a very small thing, and you're breaking it out into these big boards, what are some of the challenges in that?
Well, the real challenge is you have to get the signal from A to B. It turned out when we built the 3DO prototypes that the actual speed of the logic was basically irrelevant. The trouble was, when you went this far, the wire length, the inductance in that wire, would cause more signal delay than anything else. So you couldn't really go, that was the thing that limited the clock speed, was the physical distance in the wiring. So then that was a thing, and also you had to, one of the things is you have clocks in these things, and in the chip you lay them out similarly, so that the delays are all the same, so that the whole thing works together. But in the breadboard, you had to do them all by hand, all 2,000 of them. And there was one guy named Paul Brandt, who's absolutely brilliant technician, who he and I together, you know, sort of worked out the techniques for balancing all the clock trees and stuff. Ended up being a lot of fun.
Sounds really
so that's some of the other stuff I've done. Yeah.
I'm you know, one of the, like I was saying on the panel,
I was at Amiga Expo in 1992, and I got to meet Jay Miner, and he, I was just like this kid with an Amiga user group, and he spent 20 minutes talking to me, and he just seemed like such a great guy. So being that you worked with him closely, I was wondering if you just had some anecdotes, or you just want to talk about Jay Miner a little bit.
Oh yeah, sure. I'd be happy to talk about him. Well, when I was on the panel, I talked about the first time I wanted to, people were talking about their first connection with the Amiga, and that was mine when I met Jay Miner. When I got off the train station in Sunnyvale, and there he was in his Lincoln with his beard and a big smile, and a little dog hanging outside of the other side of the car. It was like, right then it was like, okay, I got to work for this guy. And we got along really well. And he had a way of being a boss that is better than I've seen anywhere. And I didn't really realize it until sometime after I was working with him, but he had a way of, taking, a young designer like me and kind of gently pushing me in the direction to figure out what the right thing to do was, without really absolutely minimalist, but effective. And that quality, it was so subtle and so understated, but yet it kind of gives a bit of a sense of who Jay was in terms of a person. He was a great guy. Yeah, I really enjoyed working with him, and kind of the philosophy that he kind of espoused through his way of being is kind of what I try to do when I'm working with people.
So what kind of manager was he? Because obviously he was a brilliant engineer as well as a manager. How did he lead you guys?
Well, he and Joe DeCure and Ron Nicholson, they were the ones that drew up the architecture and the structure of it. And so what Jay did is he moved it along from there. Now at the beginning, I didn't really have much of a sense of the whole structure of the thing, because I was, I'd never designed a chip before. I'm just, and as Joe DeCure said, off the boat from Scotland, right? And so I just did the stuff. I knew how to, I had done a fair number of electronics before. So I had, I knew the stuff, but I had never done a chip.
That's incredible.
He kind of guided the whole thing very effectively. And he would listen to you. That was the other thing. There was a story which has been, I'm going to repeat this because I didn't actually experience it myself, but one of these stories is that Dale Luck, who was doing the software, graphic software, the core for the Amiga, he had built an
Live Oak, thanks for the follow. I'll pause the video because the only Amiga song. I think you guys can hear the only Amiga song. I'm not sure. Thanks for the follow, dude. We'll get back to Glenn. I think it's gonna do it twice. But how amazing is that the Paul chip was his first chip that he ever designed. That's amazing. I don't know why it does this thing double. I think it's the follow thing's gonna come on again. I have no idea. There's some weird. There it is. Oh yeah, you meant Glenn, right? Yeah, who can't get Glenn's awesome.
An emulator for the Blitter because he needed to test his software that ran on the Blitter before there was ever one actual one. And so building the software emulator, he realized that if he changed a little bit of the logic here and there, he could make it do a line draw with almost the identical structure. And so he went and talked to his boss, and his boss says, "Nah, we can't do that. We're in too big of a rush." And then he said, "Here, go talk to Jay, and he'll shut it down." Right? And so they go out to lunch, and they come back from lunch, and I think it was like Jay was like, "Okay, let's do it." It was just like he got it, right? He got stuff. Even if it wasn't the way he was doing it, he would understand it, and he would flip. So yeah.
Right. It sounds like he saw how that would make the machine
understood
more useful.
the global impact.
Right.
I mean, I had no idea of that stuff at that time. I didn't, barely knew what multitasking was, that kind of thing.
So, I mean, was it amazing that they were designing this machine with all these concepts that you had never even heard of? How did that feel when you were trying to work on this?
Oh, it was fine. I just did my stuff, and as I went along, I learned more things. I had seen Unix systems before, so I knew what multitasking was. In college, there was somebody had designed a CPU and for their thesis and left it, and it didn't work, and we needed it to run the submarine, so I had to make it go. So I understood what a computer was like that, from that basis. So I knew a lot of different pieces, but the architecture pieces and the more complex pieces I didn't really understand, but that was okay. I didn't really need to. I just did my thing and learned as I went along.
So awesome. I love this guy.
That's kind of how it went. And later on, it was only, people were saying, this is a great computer, and it was only quite a lot later on that I kind of understood the gestalt of the thing.
Now, I guess a great question is that, I mean, after Amiga, I mean, did you use one?
Well, I used one for a while. But like anybody else, when the PCs got better, one of the problems I saw with the Amiga, it was limited to NTSC, and that the flickeriness and stuff. As soon as the resolutions of the screens of the regular computers got better than that, and maybe if Amiga had stuck around longer, it would have kept up with the more high-res monitors. And I know Headley had done a good thing. Headley Davis had done a Headley high-res thing that gave the Amiga some better quality. But that was a really important thing, I think. The crispness of the screen and the non-flickering, you need that for a lot of the more boring applications.
Right. You can't sell to business a machine that's making everyone's eyes water.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. So from that point of view, I felt that the Amiga was behind I don't know if it was behind, but in the sense of usability in that sense, it wasn't as good as, like, say, the Macintosh, which had a crisp black and white screen.
Right, even though the resolutions are fairly similar, and it's black and white, the advantages to business are the clear screen.
And your eye strain, right? I don't remember, I don't know if the resolution, but you always kind of thing, then you get flicker. If you use 320 by 240, you're fine.
But you're at a low
But on the other
resolution.
hand, that's a really low resolution.
Right.
So that was, I think, one of the problems. I don't know about the marketing stuff. People have commented about that, and but
well, it is interesting that it's both a strength of the Amiga in video,
right,
and a detriment on the other side,
right.
And it's like trying to get to that middle ground, and I think Amiga was trying, Commodore with Amiga was trying to move towards that towards the end, with the more advanced chipsets. They were talking about Ombre, which was moving to PCI cards, and using graphics cards of the day.
Right, and I think that was the appropriate move, to move toward things that would support sort of the progressive scan monitors, basically, with higher resolution. And had the thing stayed big for longer, that's probably what would have happened. And you would have needed to go faster with everything. But that's not quite what happened. So still, it was a great thing to be involved in.
Well, is it just how does it feel that something you worked on so early on is still just like something that is so big?
It's a little weird, actually. I kind of expected that the whole thing would disappear, and so the fact that it seems to actually be reviving, and there seems to be still well, a lot of people still having all this enthusiasm and how great it is and enjoying it so much. It's like, it's wonderful.
We have friends with a band called Paula Powered.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of their work with Amiga, and they named obviously their band after the Paula chip. So
that's pretty cool.
Paula Powered.
Cool.
I think someone also did an album that's named Agnes, Denise, and Paula.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's
just, and I feel incredibly honored that it's really a luck thing. I mean, lots of other smart engineers that did other things. It just didn't happen to happen this way, right? I mean, how was I to know that when I called? See, it was pretty complete happenstance that I happened to be there at all, because I was actually looking for ocean engineering jobs. So I called Joe DeCure, who was up in Oakland somewhere, and he said, I don't have anything, but you should go talk to my friend in the South Bay. So that's how the whole thing started.
Wow. It's funny how like one little thing can just change.
Yep.
And how did you know Joe DeCure?
I didn't.
Oh.
But his company was doing something to do with ocean engineering, and I was calling every company that had anything to do with ocean engineering looking for a job. So
that's a pretty wild connection back to Amiga and Atari.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I didn't meet Joe DeCure himself. I talked to him on the phone that time. I didn't actually meet him until the Amiga 30th.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Because he had gone on to other things by the time I joined. So
that's funny.
And he had worked up, he and Ron Nicholson and Jay had worked out the initial architectures and stuff. But yeah, I finally met him. It was great.
That's pretty amazing. So. Well, thanks. It's been great talking to you, and thank you for the Paula chip.
Hey, I'm glad I could do it. I'm glad I was there to do it. It was my pleasure. Thanks.
He's awesome. I love that guy. Oh man, wow. It's here's the funny thing too. Like he lives right outside Westchester, Pennsylvania, which is obviously where Commodore's headquarters were. But when he actually worked for Commodore, he lived in California. When he designed Paula chip, he designed it. When he worked for Amiga, he was out in California, and I don't think he actually ever worked in Westchester. He ended up moving to Westchester just by complete coincidence, like many years later. It's incredible. All right, well, that's the gist of my of the footage I want to go through today. I hope you guys like it. I still got about 30 minutes, so I was thinking, I don't know what you guys want to do. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be posting all these up on the YouTube channel, and I'm going to edit them and make them a little more coherent. We also have Zach and Glenn. It's up to you. Do you guys want to see some the remastered Shadow of the Beast? I don't know if that's appealing at all, but I was getting a little nostalgic because last year on May 17th I did my first stream ever, and it was the new Shadow of the Beast. So I don't know if you guys have seen that or not, and I was going to play it for like 10 minutes if you guys want to see the Shadow of the Beast reboot. And I was going to bust out my 1200 and play some Amiga CD32 games that Damien D has made hard drive installable. You're down? You want to see a little Beast? It wouldn't hurt to play a game. It wouldn't hurt to play a game in the stream, right? All right, I'm going to fire up some Shadow of the Beast remastered. And the cool thing is, in the remastered on the PlayStation 4, you can also play the original game, which is cool. You're down for the Beast or the 1200? Maybe we'll do a little both. We'll see. We'll see. I gotta wrap things up around 5, which is in a half hour. So I don't have too much time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, man. I like going through the footage. Obviously, I'm not going to do this on every stream, but being that I had great footage from VCF East and now VCF Southeast, I figured I need to go through it, so I might as well stream it so you guys can see it raw dog. Beast. All right, cool. We'll do some Beast. I'm going to switch over to PlayStation 4 because unfortunately the Shadow of the Beast reboot is only available on PlayStation 4. I hope they come out with a version for PC. But right now it's only PlayStation 4. It's getting darker out, so my green screen is failing. Let's see if I can fix that. That's better. Not 100%, but that's better. You want to watch more? Roar, Roar, I've completed it. Like I've beaten the story, but I haven't platinumed the game. So there's still lots of things I haven't uncovered. We'll see how far along I've gotten. All right, let me. I got switch cables here. Let me shut down the PC. Also, I don't usually keep my icons like this, but it's kind of a pain. Like every time, maybe you guys even know, every time I switch resolutions, my icons move to unfavorable positions. So this is a 4K monitor I'm running, and I have everything like organized all nice and neat. But when I switch to 1080 for the streams, it just takes everything and smushes them together over on the left side of the screen, and then I have to like redo it. It's really a pain. But I don't even really know Windows that much, so maybe there's a way I could fix that. But I'm not sure. Use desktop icon saver. Cool. I'll have to look into that, Hells. Thank you. Let's see if I can get up without decapitating myself. I just gotta switch a wire over here. And I will mute the mic if I go to the restroom. Taking the wire out of the back of that. Let's see, back of the PlayStation here. Turn that sucker around. All right, hopefully this will be a painless changeover. Oh, Simon, you're wondering how much? Oh, is the Amiga still something for the masses, or now that it shifted to the classes? I think it definitely shifted to the classes. Even Trevor, I don't think he's really planning on making a bundle with the new Amigas. It's definitely a niche market, but a really cool market. It's definitely got the best community out there. That's true, Hells Angel. Like, what is the definition of Amiga? Is it the classic stuff, or you don't consider the 81222 an Amiga? It's a power PC. It's true. It's definitely different than the original Amigas, but clearly it has like the spirit of Amiga in it because it's made by Amiga, someone who's very passionate about the Amiga, and it's got something called Amiga OS4, which kind of resembles the old Amiga. So it's there in spirit, but it's definitely, I agree, it's definitely not the same Amiga that it was back then. Electron, I agree. Like the real Amigas are definitely like the OCS, ECS, AGA. For me, like Amiga's all about like 500, 1200, 4000, 3000. That's the jam right there. That's the real Amiga. I support Trevor and all the next gen stuff a lot, and I think it's cool. I think it's cool to have an alternative to stuff like Windows or Mac, and so I got fully support it, and I'm totally gonna buy an 1222. But it's definitely different than the original Amiga. Yeah. So all right. So guys, here we go. So what I did was last year they had an option where if you pre-ordered Shadow of the Beast on the PS4, you got this awesome Shadow of the Beast background for your PlayStation 4. And obviously I never changed it because I love it so much. And Roger Dean himself, the amazing artist, he designed this background for the PlayStation 4, so it is definitely one of the big perks to this game is this background wallpaper. It's awesome. There's the Beast down there running away from the... I forgot what they call that guy. But this game has got a lot of great lore in it as well. Oh, nice. Yeah, make a Gotek mod that will include a floppy drive stepper motor for that sound. Yeah, that sound is so classic. Hell's Angel, yeah, I would love to have the disc version of this too. I think you have to buy it from Asia. I know it's available somewhere in Asia. I think I'm gonna make it through stream, guys. I'm starting to fade a little bit because of this crappy cold that I have, but I think I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. At least we're gonna play some Beast. Yeah, you can't even find it on eBay. I would love to have it. I'm a physical media kind of guy, obviously. I still like having it. Even most of my PlayStation games are all on disc. That's one of the things I can't stand about Steam is I don't really even feel like I own the games because I kind of don't. So, I wonder how the sound is. Is the sound of the game is it good? I can't tell. I don't know if I plugged my headphones in all the way. 'Cause it sounds like super low. Yeah, Roar, they totally knocked it out of the park with this game. I think they really captured the spirit of the original Beast, and all the lore is great. It's a bit low. Let's see, can I go to my settings and up the volume? I'm not sure if I can up the volume. I think it's kind of at 100%. Yeah. I don't think there's a volume control for the audio out in the PS4. I'll bump it up a little bit over here. Also, the music is low in this part of the game. Yo, what's up, Scene Cat? What's up, dude? It's great to have you. Scene Cat, I'm just wrapping up the stream now, and but we went through all the footage from VCF Southeast. We talked to Glenn Keller, the designer of the Paula chip. We talked to Trevor Dickinson, Aeon Technologies. It was a good one, so you might want to catch the repeat. But it's great to have you. And this is the 1-year anniversary of the release of the Shadow of the Beast remaster. So I'm showing the guys this. A lot of them already know it, but I figured 1-year anniversary. I haven't played this game in ages, so I want to check it out. So continue. So there's all these different worlds. The grass plains of Karamoon. We got the Dryad Kingdom, the Swamp of Decay. Obviously, you have to unlock these, but I did play through the game once, so I've unlocked them all. The Arid Wastes, Hydrath's Castle, that's a really tough one. Graveyard of the Fallen, the Crystal Lava Fields, that's a beautiful one. That's the climax. And you have something here called Wisdom of Shadows. And Wisdom of Shadows is where you do all your character upgrades and your skill tree. Yeah, a lot of the modern games do hold your hand, Electron Ash, for sure. I agree. Simon, the B soundtrack resonates in using heavy synth music, and the violins don't cut it. Are you talking about the update, like this update, or the original? The Swamp of Decay is awesome. Oh, nice, Scene Cat. You fired up the PS4 at the same time. Yeah, I was gonna fire up the Amiga, and I have some really cool games I want to play on my 1200 that I just installed, but I'm kind of running out of time. I'm sick today, but in honor of the 1-year anniversary, we'll play some Beast. So this is your skill tree. I've already unlocked most of them, so you can like upgrade your combat. These talismans, which I still need a lot more of, that you can like choose one to play with, and it'll do things like, for example, this one gives you 1 health point for every enemy he dispatches while shadow beasts are summoned. So you can choose like which talisman that you want to use, and each one gives you a different perk. But you can only use, I believe you can only use one at a time. Forbidden Tombs, this is cool. These are things you can unlock. They have all the different species in this movie have different dialogue, and you can get subtitles to hear what they're saying. I haven't actually unlocked these yet, so I would like to unlock some of them. This is cool though. This will allow you to play the game with the original Shadow of the Beast music. That's a fun one. They really do a great job giving an homage to the original Shadow of the Beast. Visions is all lore. It's great. It's it really gives you like a lot of background on the game and the characters that are in this game. There's tons of lore in it. So if you're into Shadow of the Beast lore, this is all the cool visions you can unlock and just get tons of information about the different characters. History, awesome. Here you can play an emulated version of the original Shadow of the Beast, which we must do. This one is the original box art from Roger Dean. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's so cool. And it's high res. You can zoom in, check it out, all the details. Shadow of the Beast box is like one of the best boxes ever. What do we got here? Oh, read an illustrated retrospective that examines the impact of the original trilogy. As you can see up here in the upper right corner, they have the Shadow of the Beast t-shirt, which I wish I still had mine. I don't know, it could be somewhere in my parents' house. I don't know. But that, if you have like that box set with the discs and the t-shirt, that's worth quite a bit of money. And here you can just listen to the original David Whittaker soundtrack, which is really cool. You don't even have to play the game, you can just listen to the music. Let's see, I didn't unlock this yet. Watch a complete playthrough of the original Shadow of the Beast. That's pretty impressive because it's a very, very difficult game. And here it gives you the ability to play the original 89 version of Shadow of the Beast with infinite life. That will come in handy. So basically a trainer. It comes with a trainer. I can remember to mute my mic when I cough, but failed on that earlier in the stream when I was making a stream. I still can't believe I did that. Alright, so let's get into this game. Let's play it. I'll just start at the beginning. Now here, this shows you, this game is like, it's not so much about completing the game as it is about your score. And it's got multipliers, so you want to try, and every time you get hit, it like resets your multiplier. So this game is really designed for replayability and trying to get your best score and your best time for speedrunning. So you have 3 different difficulties: beginner, normal, and beast. Of course, you got to play on beast. Because the real Shadow of the Beast game is extremely difficult, so playing on the easy mode is just kind of like, ah. But believe it or not, if you really want to do the game right, you have to get all the achievements on beginner, normal, and beast. Well, I haven't played this game in a long time, so I'm probably gonna be bad at it, but I gotta go beast, you know what I'm saying? Let's make it difficult. And for some reason, I'm only 93% complete. I don't know if it has to do with the encounters, or there's something here I still haven't unlocked. Like, I haven't unlocked that one. There's a prophecy orb somewhere that I haven't found, which is really strange. Again, this is all lore in the game. There's lots of lore in this game. It's great. You can just spend a lot of time in this game not playing and just reading the stuff. Let's do it. There's a beast mode joke in there somewhere. For sure. We'll see how well I do. I haven't played the game in so long, I probably should start with the easy level, but the Amiga didn't offer an easy level, so let's just jump in, you know what I'm saying? But the graphics in this game are gorgeous. It got pretty good reviews. I think some people didn't quite get it. You know, if you had never played Shadow of the Beast or never had an Amiga before, and you're a youngster, just checking in, it's from that level, they probably don't appreciate it as much because they put a lot of effort into capturing the spirit of the original and capturing all the lore, as you can see. And that's a big part of why I really like this game. I can't really separate myself and say, okay, well, is it good as a game? But I think it's good. I like it. I like it a lot. So here we can choose your talisman. You can go Iron Skin or Vitality. I'm gonna increase my maximum health points. And I'm tethered to this jerk. All right, here we go. They capture the grassy field spirit very well in the 3D parallax scrolling. So this game has all these encounters. I'm not doing as well. There we go, perfect. That's what I'm talking about. The idea is as soon as they lift their sword, like each enemy has a perfect time when you're supposed to hit them to maximize your points. And those guys, like as soon as they lift their sword and you see it glow orange is when you want to hit them. John Cena. John Cena. So now you gotta duck behind the trees to avoid these arrows. And I usually hide by the trunk. Oh man! I guess I was a little bit too far forward. Beast mode's difficult. I don't know why they hit me. I don't know how to get there any faster. Oh man. Beast mode's difficult. But how awesome is that? That's gorgeous. I mean, come on. It's gorgeous. Now there is a move I can do to restore health. It's called Parasite mode. Face enemies and use R1 to block attacks. I love the blood. There's so much blood in this game. There we go. I'm starting to get the timing back a little bit. Even though this is beast mode, it's still not as hard as the original. Again, this game's more about maximizing your points. Which is good for replayability. Hold O to grab enemies. You can grab the enemies and like throw them at... I love it. That looks great. Just toss them. This game has no shortage of violence. I love it. And it's beautiful. I pushed the volume up on the game a little bit. I hope it's so hard for me to know because I can't really hear the mix. I hope it's all right. This is just a slaughter. I gotta decrypt. I gotta get translations for the subtitles. This game gets really dark here, guys. This gets really dark. Oh man. So basically that jerk just tricked you into killing your father. It's really dark. Treehead is freaking jerk. Yeah, I want to kick his butt. Rage mode. Beast is raging. And now he's going to try and steal a baby, which could potentially be my little brother. Come on, Beast. Time to kick some butt. Oh yeah. Take that, Treehead. You ugly SOB. Right, here we go. The Rage Chain. Oh man, Rage Chain was good. The Rage Chain is good fun, but it resets your multiplier, so it's fun to kick butt. But if you're going for your high score, you don't want to use the Rage Chain too much. Okay, so check this out. This is another Zelek took you? Yeah, I think he did. Oh, yeah, I mean his cronies took you. So Wet Dog 77 played this game, and now I can devour his soul. So let's try and devour his soul. This is how I met my buddy Fredder. I devoured his soul, and we met, and he's an old-time Amiga guy. Now we play PS4 games together all the time. So I can send him a gift, or I can devour him. Of course, I have to devour him. Let's see if I can beat him. I haven't played PlayStation in so long, I forget like which button is which. My muscle memory's all gone. I'm ripping them apart. Eight 8.35 seconds. I think that's pretty good. I got a Shadow Stone. Roar, I guess, Roar, we gotta be friends on PlayStation. I don't know if we are. Do I also love to play golf in GTA 5 online? Oh my god, SceneCat, did you see my buddy Zach just posted something, a link to these Russian guys who recreated Terminator 2. It's not shot for shot, but it's almost shot for shot in GTA 5. It's incredible. It looks just like Terminator 2. Oh my god. You gotta check it out. It's Terminator 2 GTA 5. It's on YouTube. It's incredible. You can use the touchpad to break the prophecy orb. Boom. Oh, you're Roar J on PS4. Maybe we are. I just, you know what it is? I've never run into you on Shadow of the Beast. I can't believe it's a year since this game came out and it was my first stream. Thanks to everyone for hanging out today. I had a blast. You guys make me feel better because I almost didn't stream today because I was feeling so ill. Lots of destruction. Somehow I made it through 3 hours. Yeah, gotta get that multiplier up. Nice. You want to try and not take any hits, obviously. So it's telling me use triangle. Obviously, this first level is a tutorial level. Even if you've completed it, I guess it gives you the tutorial. That's great. I love getting creative with the violence. Yeah, as soon as they bring that sword back and it turns yellow, then you want to get it. I missed it. Not bad for beast mode, eh, Roar? Remotely, this is a lot of fun, right? This game is super, super fun. I love it. And they really did capture the original, the spirit of the original. I'm gonna play the first level. This level's pretty quick. I'm gonna play the first level, and I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll play the first level, and then I'll show you guys how it emulates the original Beast. Even though I'd much rather play it on my real Amiga, it's cool that you can play the original on the PlayStation. For those who don't have real Amigas. Oh man, I took a hit. I love it. I love how the blood like splatters on the camera too. Oh man, I was trying to go for the perfect and I was too late. Too late and I took a hit. Alright, so I know there's a way I can use a parasite move, because my health is really low right now, it's 3. So I forgot which move, technically we haven't learned the parasite move yet in the tutorial, or unlocked it. But being that this is, obviously I completed the level, I think I can do the parasite move and suck the blood out of my enemies. Let's try it. There we go, parasite. Woohoo! Yeah, take that. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, that wasn't the parasite move though. There we go, that's the parasite move. Suck that blood. Plus 3 health, thank you very much. Just 10 pints. Did we'll have a notebook back in the days with all the words one could use in Shadow of the Beast 2 on the Amiga? Haha, totally. Oh man, I remember the days. I used to have a notebook next to me at all times with all my cheat codes and everything, especially for like Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. Once I figured out a move, I would have to like write down which one worked at what time, and I would have to make like a little cheat sheet. Ooh, I fell too far. I'm gonna have to do another parasite move. I thought there was something down here. Oh no, I know, you know what it is? It's up here. I think there's some blood up here, if I recall. Huh, that's weird. I guess it's just teaching you how to slide down without falling too hard like I did. Now this guy's woken up and expecting me. I would like to parasite him. Let's see if I can parasite him. I didn't get the parasite done. There we go. So, and I think that's a parasite move. Oh, you know what? I don't have enough blood. I ran out of blood for the parasite move. See, you need at least one of those rectangles filled in order to do the parasite move. So I actually might die here. Oh. I should have done a parasite on him. Let's see if I can get more blood. There we go. Alright, maxed out my blood, but I need to do a couple parasite moves. I forgot the exact timing of the parasite move. I think I was doing it too early. I think I have to wait, because I'm used to going a little bit early to get that perfect for my score. But I think I need to do it a little bit later. Let's see. Yeah, I got max blood. I wonder what's up there. This scene, oh man, this fight is really hard. Oh nice, you just sent me a friend request, Roar? I didn't see it pop up yet. I'll be your friend. Thanks for hanging out, guys. This has been a blast hanging out with you guys today. Oh boy. Oh, down I go. No! That's beast mode. Resurrect consuming an innocent soul, or resurrect using an elixir. This one's infinite. And this one, I'll use an elixir, what the heck. I promise I won't die again, guys. I don't know what the heck happened. Alright, so I got 13. Alright, time to kick some butt. We weren't friends, Roar. Well, I'm glad we're friends now. Here we go. Come on. Come at me, bro. I should have stunned him. I'm in trouble here, Roar. Here we go. Took a couple hits there. It's no good. You gotta go flawless. If you want to be master of the beast, you gotta go flawless. I gotta at least get to the boss so I can beat this level for you guys. Oh, are you kidding me? You said, oh, you know what, Roar, you know what happened? I'm not AmigaBill on PlayStation. I'm Bill Wiz, because my PlayStation name is my old AOL name. So some other posers got my name on PlayStation. I hope he's a cool guy. I wish you could change your name on PlayStation, but you can't. On Xbox, you can change your name, which is pretty cool. I think you can change it, but you can only change it like once every 6 months or something like that. But PlayStation, you're locked in for life. I've been Bill Wiz since like PlayStation, like I first got my PS3. So this is the boss fight. This guy's really angry. He lives in a tree. I'd be angry too if I lived in that tree and I was as ugly as him. Alright, you got... How do I block again? Oh, sorry, I got a gun. The idea here is you have to block this guy. Stun him, and then you can get him when he's stunned. That's right. Okay, I forgot the mechanics. And you're supposed to roll and get him from behind, or you can just keep blocking him. But if you do the roll move, you can get behind him. You can get him from behind. Let's see if I can get there in time. Nope. Ah. I'm trying too fancy. I could just make it easy on myself and block his attacks. Oh, but when it's, you know what? I guess you can't roll below him when his lips fall. Doing the block move is way easier than the roll, but I feel like it's a little cheap. But you know what? Whatever gets the job done, right? Whatever beats the boss. Let's see if I can at least do one roll here. There we go. You gotta run up behind him as fast as you can. Get him. There he goes. Bill Wiz, the Lemmings icon. Yep, that's me. Roar, how are we not friends? I had a feeling because I'm sure I would have run into you. But as you guys can see, even on beast mode, the game's like not that difficult. So it's all about high scores in this game. It's arcade. It's all about the high score in the new Shadow of the Beast. Silver. That was pretty bad. I'm also obviously not as good at playing the game when I'm streaming, but I haven't played in a while. I'm a little rusty. Yeah, I'm ranked 2,743. I gotta step up my game there. And look, you can compare your score against your friends. Let's see, rank friends. Hey, oh, look at that. I'm faster than Fredder18. Take that, Fredder. There we go. Friend request received from Roar TJ. And I'm faster than Retro Recover. I'm not sure who Retro Recover is. I'll go accept you. I got a lot of requests, but I don't know who any of these guys are. Game Boy Bot, yeah, like that's someone I'm gonna be friends with. Alright, Roar, it's official, we're friends now. Alright, so check it out. You can also play the original games. Let's do that. I feel bad about not taking out the Amiga today, but today was a unique day, you know, like it's not that often I get to go to Vintage Computer Festival and talk to all those cool guys. So that's why I did that. Most of my streams will be gaming oriented streams, but I thought this would be a little richer experience, especially since the timing is right. I need to go through all that footage anyway and make some videos. Oh, Scene Cat, did you send one too? I didn't get it yet. As you've seen, I didn't get it yet, but I'll wait. I haven't played PlayStation in a while. I've been lucky enough to be rocking it on the PC lately. But Shadow of the Beast, PlayStation only. Alright, so let's go to the Wisdom of Shadows. And let's see, so we can the ability to play with infinite life, play the emulation of the original. All that is. Okay, let's play it. Oh, good, Laura. I'm glad you liked it. Awesome. Yo. Yo, Adam, thanks for stopping by, dude. Always a pleasure. I hope you like the footage. I hope it does your show somewhat justice. Thanks again for having us, man. That show was awesome. One of the best weekends ever. Thanks so much, Adam. Bill does Beast Hardcore Edition. I know I want to try Horizon Zero Dawn. I've heard nothing but like amazing things about it. This is what I'm talking about. This music sends chills down my spine. I'm not playing yet. I gotta listen to. I gotta do this properly. As cool as the new game is, like, it's nothing compared to this. This is where it's at. It should be on a CRT monitor though. This gets you so fired up. This is the true gem. It gives me goosebumps too. Every time I hear this music, oh man, it's so good. Oh no, you have the original soundtrack in FLAC? That's awesome. I wish I had that. There's the Roger Dean artwork. In that looks like 32 color mode. Lots of pixelation, I love it. Alright, here we go. Now you can see how bad I am at the original Shadow of the Beast. What's up, Dumper? I mean, and who knew today you actually, you got to see a Twitch fail. My first Twitch fail. So 1 year after my first Twitch stream was my first Twitch fail. I'm gonna have to go back and play that. I still can't believe I did that. What a dumb thumb. This is where it's at. Dumper, thanks for the follow, dude. Appreciate that very much. Thanks so much, Dumper. I play Amiga games on this channel. I use Amiga software. Usually I have a real Amiga hooked up, but today I was showing footage from Vintage Computer Festival Southeast, and all that footage is on my PC. So I've got the PC connected now. I should have the PlayStation 4 connected. We're celebrating the 1 year anniversary of the Shadow of the Beast remake, and it was 1 year ago tomorrow, the 17th, when it came out, and I did my first stream. Thanks so much for the follow, Dumper. I appreciate that very much. All right, here we go. Although I have to say, using the PlayStation controller is easier than using like my Wyco joystick, because my Wyco joystick is broken as well. Now, from what I remember, you need a key to go down there. Whoa. And of course, Shadow of the Beast doesn't have a normal mode; it only has Beast mode. Some blood. I'm maxed out at 12. I haven't played in a while. I thought maybe I could save those. This game was all about memorization. These things were so difficult. This one always popped up here and got me. Ah, it's too late there. I should have just kept going. Oh man, I'm getting destroyed. I'm getting destroyed. Once the wheel falls off, man, they just come off. You can't just button mash there, you have to time them out. Man, not fast enough. Not fast enough. Reflexes are too slow. I wish you could go back and get that blood. I'm down to 7. Even though it feels a little bit wrong to be playing this on a PlayStation 4, it's very, very cool that they included this with the new version of the Beast. I respect those guys a lot. They did. If you're gonna do a reboot, like, this is how you do it. You can get down. I'm supposed to go into the tree. Yeah, the parallax scrolling rules inverse. I knew that was coming. Once you get hit and you're immune for a minute, you just go for it. I think there's some much needed help in here. Ah, gypped. I was robbed. It is definitely weird playing this game with an analog stick, though. They must have done some sort of compensation for that. Or maybe not. Jeez. I can't tell you how many times it happened to me in the Beast. When I'm trying to do a good move, I mess up, and then you get hit, and then you're just like, I just go. I did have a good trainer for Shadow of the Beast. That was the only way I was able to, I knew that was going to happen. That's the only way I was able to finish it on the real Amiga. I think Shadow of the Beast 3 was the most playable of them all. Inverse, use the pad. Oh, Simon, I was supposed to go left, right? I was supposed to go left, and then, but I know you have to get the castles to the right, though. Yeah, if I go left, I would have went down the tree first. Okay, so yeah, I'm totally playing it wrong. From 1989, there's over 100 colors at once, counting the copper and the layers. Wow. I can't use the D-pad. I don't know what's... D-pad works well. Yeah, I'm supposed to go the other way. But you need stuff in the tree, then go to the castle. Alright, well you know what? I'm just gonna end it. And I'll go to the tree first. I mean, how much do you love the Shadow of the Beast 2 death music? So classic. They took it from Miami Vice. Hey, I'm not dead? There we go. Hell's Angel, have a great night, dude. I'm wrapping the stream up now anyway. Thanks so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some decent information about it. This is good death music, too. Beautiful. Yeah, the Shadow of the Beast 2 death music is awesome. Oh, but interesting. The main tune for Shadow of the Beast 2, are you saying that the main tune was discarded because it was too big for the disc? And that's why the death scene feels out of place? That's cool. You know, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, Simon. Simon, you're not my friend Simon from Instagram, are you? Simon Swee from Instagram? Oh, thanks, Roy. I love hanging out with you too. Don't worry, you'll be in bed soon. I'll play one more round of this, and then I gotta hit the sack. No, you gotta hit the sack. I gotta hit the sack too, man. I'm beat. Although I'm feeling pretty good. You know how it is with these colds. Like you feel crappy in the morning and crappy at night, and then during the day it's tolerable. That's where I'm at. Son of the Bitch 2, the Trump sequel. Oh, Simon, thanks for that link, dude. Scene Cat, unused track also on the original CD? Huh. Son of a bitch, too. Alright, we'll go to the tree. Scene Cat, you're in Poland, right? If you're not, I apologize. For some reason, I think you're in Poland. Oh, I forgot about that bear trap. Oh, cool. Thanks for that link, Scene Cat. Yeah, you think you're in Poland. Well, you drink too much Krupnik and you know, it doesn't really matter where you are, right? Oh, you're in Holland. Right on. I love Holland. Hey, what's up, babe? Oh, I got a delivery. My wife's bringing me something awesome. Tea, yeah. I'm gonna wrap it up soon, but this comes in handy. How awesome is this? I got some warm tea. You rock, babe. Jeez. That's right. I remember this. Vaguely. I don't think you can make that jump? Should I make that jump? Bad news. Bad news all around. Did you go to Amiga 30 in Holland, Scene Cat? I bought tickets to it, and then I had a big job and I couldn't go. It was terrible. This tea is good. My wife rocks. She's from Poland. Retro Demo, you're right. Shadow of the Beast still looks good. Oh yeah, tea is a Brit pastime, of course. I better not drink too much tea or I might go into the bathroom and leave the microphone on. They're like, who would do that? You didn't go to Amiga 30? It looked awesome. And the one here in the States was amazing. I didn't go to it either, but Adam went. He told me all about it. Yeah, inverse. That's totally how I go. And Ami Party is in Helm, which is an hour east of my wife's city. So that's another reason why I'm pretty sure I can make it to Ami Party this year, because my sister-in-law is having a baby at the end of July, and Ami Party is the 11th, 12th, and 13th of August. So it's perfect timing to go check out the new baby and hit up Ami Party. That's the plan. That's the plan. I don't have tickets yet, but we're working on it. Oh, right on. Yeah, you were going live or doing a demo party thing. Cool, Scene Cat. You think Beast 1 looks better than Beast 2, but Beast 3 looks fantastic. I also think Beast 3 is like the most playable. I think it's got the best gameplay. Inverse, I'm psyched, dude. I'm psyched for Demo Splash. And so is Anthony. He called me up the other day. He's like, yo, are you going to that Demo Splash thing? We gotta go. I'm like, yeah, I'm going. Demo Splash. I've never been to a demo party in the States, so that's gonna be great. And if you're involved in it, I know it's gonna be awesome. You know what? I gotta register. After I'm done with the stream, Inverse, I gotta go register for it. Yeah, hey, so if you guys, obviously we're all into demo scene and Amiga here, check out Scene Cat here on Twitch. I host him, I auto-host him, and he's an awesome dude, and he always streams, you know, using his real Amiga, and he is a demo scene aficionado and always plays amazing demos. I caught the end of his stream last night or 2 nights ago. It was awesome. So go give my man Scene Cat a follow, as well as Inverse Phase, who is an amazing chiptune artist. All the Amiga folks are super talented, creative people. I love it. Inverse, your music rocks. It really rocks. The Synth Things, the Stranger Things song, that track is ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. And I got hit in the bear trap again. Oh, you're a sofa scener. That's hilarious. You rock, Inverse. I'm so psyched I've met you. That's why it's great to go to these shows. You know, I went to Viva Amiga World Premiere at MagFest, and if I didn't go, I wouldn't have met Inverse. We probably would have met up at VCF East, but it's important to go to all these shows. And as being online, it puts a face, you know, it puts a face to a name, and you can hang out and drink beers together, or drink Polish vodka together. Oh yeah, POUET.net. That's a good one. That's where I download most of my demos from. I got to, I would love to get like a Blizzard 060 for my 1200. So I want to play some, that's terrible. Terrible gameplay right there. no. This B is really difficult. There you go. I would love to play like some of the newer demos, some of the like the Ghost Town stuff, and oh man, at Ami Party they were rocking the demos on their 1200 with the Blizzard 060. It was amazing. Oh, nice, awesome, dude. I'm glad I got you to go to the VCF. I'm gonna post your video as well. I gotta post your video from VCF as well. Your videos, what you do with the consolidating the Pokey and the Antic chip and on that board is amazing, dude. This is bizarre. I don't remember the first guy being static. It's been a while. Oh yeah, dude, Electronic Ash, you were totally right. Sorry. The revision stream is incredible. Absolutely incredible. The thing that blew me away most about revision were those 4K demos. And I'm not talking about 4K the resolution. I'm talking 4 kilobytes. Those were incredible. Oh my god. The SceneCat, yeah, VCFED.org. That's exactly what we're talking about. And VCFED.org, they have all different shows. They've consolidated into one federation. I'm dying here. So they have VCF East, VCF Southeast, VCF Midwest, and VCF West. And they're all under that VCFED.org. Yeah, revision is incredible. That 4K, I mean, and I don't, it's just so far beyond my comprehension, like how they pull that off. And what they pull off with it is just incredible. It's beautiful, the music's amazing, the artwork's incredible. It's basically like a program that writes itself, from what I understand. The guys from Riverwash, the other Polish demo scene party, they gave a great presentation at MagFest about the demo scene. I'm still waiting for Argisec to give me the slides, because I edited that video together for him and I want to post it up. But I needed slides, because shooting off the projection was really bad quality. Oh god. Did I just come into a boss fight? Oh, you're on VCFED.org. Oh, I gotta check all these. You're a bear, so I need a gun for that. LFT did a great demo based on linear Facebook shift register, so it played music for many minutes with only 4K of code. I gotta check that out. You love the old school graphics, especially the ones whose pixel art and do not use drawing boards or scans. Yeah, Dumper. Oh dear, power up needed for sure. The Revision 2017 stream was ridiculous. A Mind is Born is 256 bytes, not even 4K. Holy cow. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm like choking like crazy. Guys, I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm fading fast here, guys. But it's been awesome hanging out with all of you guys today. Thank you so much. It's the 1 year anniversary of the Shadow of the Beast remaster and 1 year anniversary of my streaming. It's not like the 1 year Twitch anniversary, but I streamed that on my YouTube channel. When Shadow of the Beast remastered came out last year, I streamed it over on the YouTube channel. But I try and stick to doing things together with Anthony on the YouTube channel. because I don't want the YouTube channel just to be like all me. So I made this account when I'm flying solo. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. It was awesome hanging out with you all, and definitely check out my YouTube channel, YouTube/The Meditation. I'll be posting all the videos that we went through today on the YouTube channel. Dumper, thanks for the follow, dude. It's great to meet you. I hope you stop in the stream again soon. Inverse, yeah, I'll see you. I think it's 3 weeks away, Inverse, or 2.5 weeks. That's gonna be awesome. Oh, Pierre, thanks, dude. Oh, thanks for the kind words, Pierre. That's awesome. I hope I can see you in a couple weeks too, buddy. Yeah, Electron asks, you enjoyed both streams, right? My Twitch fail, my first Twitch fail. Oh, thanks for the kind words, guys. It's awesome hanging out with you guys. You guys make it fun. That's why, even though I was sick and I was not feeling well at all, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stream for a bit, hang out with the boys, and girls. We had Miss Harleen Francis Pinzel here, so you guys make me feel a lot better. It's a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. I hope you guys learned something. You know, I like to do other stuff besides just play games. Maybe you learn something. I learn something every time I stream and every time I go to one of these shows and shoot something. I mean, Glenn is amazing. But yeah, we got a lot more stuff to do. I'm gonna bust out some Amiga software soon. As much as I love the games, there's a few pieces of software that I'm dying to bust out, and I have some really cool projects planned. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start playing with the software on this stream, and then once I'm all dialed in and have it all figured out, I'll make a proper YouTube video about it. But it'll be fun just to come on here and play around with you guys, you know? Don't cross your streams. All right, Electron. I don't assume anyone's gender, but there are. I know for a fact there are both guys and gals, and I'm glad whoever comes here, regardless of how you identify, I'm very thankful. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome in this stream. Dumper follows again. Thanks, dude. Alright, guys. I got a game alert. Cool, guys. Well, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go get some rest. Thanks again. It's been a pleasure hanging out with all you guys. I'll definitely do a stream next week as well. I'm not sure what I'll do yet, but I'm going to bust out some of those Amiga CD32 games that I've been installing on my hard drive. There's some really good ones. I'm gonna play some like T0. That's a really, really fun one. So, oh, you didn't follow again? It's so weird. I guess you followed once. I don't know. There's something weird about the what's it called? Streamlabs Twitch alerts. Because everyone who follows like gets I dance twice. I don't know. It's beyond my level of comprehension. All right, guys. I will check the PS4 notifications. Let's make sure. Scene Cat, I don't think I got your request, Scene Cat. Dumper followed so hard it followed twice. Yeah, Scene Cat. So I'm Bill Wiz. This is me here. Bill. So you have to search for Bill Wiz, BILLWIZ, because it won't allow you to change that. Xbox lets you change your name, but PlayStation, like once you pick your name, it's that forever. And Bill Wiz is my old AOL name. But yeah, I'll check the notification, Scene Cat. So it's BILLWIZ. We can play some stuff together for sure. All right, guys, I'm heading out. Have a good one, guys. Thanks again, and Amiga forever. Hold on. I was about to leave, but I'm trying to get this sorted. I don't see your request, SceneCat, if you're still there. I got a notification, but I don't see you in my friend requests. These guys who requested me, I don't know who they are. Funky Spectrum sounds like I know him, but I feel like people are just sending me requests who don't really know me. If you're still there, SceneCat, let me see. And Encore. Dumper, if you're on PlayStations, I'm BILLWIZ. It's like the end of a Marvel movie. I think SceneCat said Navitron. N-A-V. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to send Navitron a friend request. Oh, nice. I'm friends with Navitron. Sweet. Inverse, are you on PlayStation 4 as well? I don't know if you're still here, Dumper, but if you are, send me a friend request. All right, guys. Now, I got you. The newest PlayStation you have is a busted PS3. Ah, well. You can probably get a good deal on PS4 if you want it. All right, guys. I'm heading out. Thanks to everyone. Yeah, sorry, 5-card draw. I'm just finishing up. It was a 3-hour stream. I made it through despite being kind of sick. But I'll be streaming again either over the weekend or probably next Tuesday again. All right, guys. Take care. Thanks again for hanging out today. I had a blast. Peace.